Mega Mike the Movie Man here. Welcome to my channel for an awesome live stream tonight. We are talking all found footage movies. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I know there's a lot of horror titles in the found footage genre, but there's actually a few other titles in there. So we might spice it up tonight with that. But I'm going to be joined today by an amazing group of BlueTubers and collectors as always. So I'm definitely going to bring everybody out here in a quick minute. But before we get into that, just a reminder here as we go through the stream tonight, make sure you find and smash that subscribe if you're visiting for the first time. Throw up those likes and comments. And to really support the channel in a mega way, make sure you send in those super chats. Those are much appreciated. So any super chats you can send in, thank you so much. But let's get right into this. Let's bring out someone who is no stranger to the streams. I know he loves these. So Tim. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Mike. Basically, you could ask me almost any stream, and I'm in. I love doing this stuff.
Yeah, was it easy to come up with your list for tonight?
Relatively, I have a couple of picks that I like to try to be different if I can with some stuff. So I got a couple of picks that hopefully no one else has. I try to be different if I can.
Yeah, me too, but somehow I feel like I'm going to pull one and everybody else is going to pull it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in someone who likes to bust them bins, of course. Bin Buster, how we doing out there?
Give me 1 second. There we go. Hey, Mike. Hey, Tim. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good.
Mike, just to answer the same question you asked Tim, yeah, I did find it a little challenging. I just hope I'm in the same boat, Tim. I just hope it's not like, hey, here's my 5, and it's the same at 5 as yours, Tim.
Yeah, I feel like
I'll find you, Tim.
And Bin Buster, we're gonna match up on some of these. So I'm like, just whoever pulls it first is how it's gonna go. So. I'm like, if somebody doesn't take my pool, I'm pulling it. I don't care. It's going to the first one. Someone better pull it. All right, let's bring out someone who is absolutely great. Of course, we got to have some Nate in here. How we doing out there?
What's up, everyone? I'm just hoping we don't have like a unfriended situation here where freaky deaky stuff starts happening during the stream. Hopefully, no one picked that. I'm gonna possess this show or something like that. But
well, the last stream, it felt like there was some possession going on. Those cameras started to move around.
We were talking about too much about possession, and it took over. As far as how hard was it, this was way easier than possession. I only have 5 movies of the genre, so it kind of worked out. So if everyone else picks these, too bad. I'll just talk about it when it's my turn.
There you go. Yeah, I only had a handful of these titles, but that's why I did the stream. I'm like, you know what? I can dive more now into this genre, actually get a few of them. So I expanded my collection just a little bit.
There you go.
Very we'll see if they get pulled. Let's go ahead and bring in Mika. How we doing out there?
Hi, everyone. I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm kind of like Nate. I only have like a few.
And I feel like you're leaning more towards the horror.
This is like
genre here for this, right? They're all going to be horror titles. Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm like, I got to bring Mika in here because you're going to be representing horror tonight. So that will be great.
Yeah, I picked all the ones I have.
All right, and then let's bring in Mark. How we doing out there, Mark?
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm doing all right.
Was this easy for you to select as well? What was your selection like? Did you have a lot of titles or just?
So I didn't make it a priority to pick ones that I owned because I was fine without that. But it actually wound up being the case where every one that I picked, I actually wound up owning. So I'll be able to have like a visual aid for you guys. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with my list. There was some obvious ones that I wanted to stay away from because, like you said, I figured some people might pick those, but and then I had a couple outliers that might be surprising, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, sometimes that strategy works. Sometimes it doesn't. Like sometimes people won't pick the obvious one at all, and then we don't see the obvious one because everybody was like, "Oh, let's pick the other ones." It's like, when did we see the obvious ones?
Yeah. Shine a light on some of the lesser known ones, you know.
All right, let's check in with this audience, of course, see who's out there. We got Adrian saying, "Hey there, Mega Mike." Got Craig in the audience saying, "Hi, Mike and guests." We got Mika everywhere, stream, chat, you name it. We got Huck in the house saying, "Hey, awesome people." Yes, can't wait for that trivia night, Huck. I'm ready for that, and Mark as well. So we're a couple of the battlers out there.
Going head to head.
Yes, this is going to be a fun one. Absolutely. Nate as well in the chat saying greetings. Gus is in the house. Hi, everyone.
Gus.
Evil Kangaroo. We got hi, Mike.
Yes.
We got Cully Ann. Hey, everyone. I think it's my first time seeing you, Cully Ann, in the chat. So thank you for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Kenny saying hi. Let's see. Kenny saying, I haven't seen many found footage movies. Blair Witch Project is my favorite. Yeah, I'm sure that will come up tonight. Maybe a few times. We got a Mega Movie Mom in here saying hi, everyone. We got Ben Buster. Welcome. Evil Kangaroo. Is Mark new to the channel? No, Mark's been on the channel before, I think, for one stream, right, Mark? I think it's been one time.
Maybe one or two. Definitely, I think, yeah, it's been a couple times, I think.
Oh, there we go.
This might be the third time. I'm not sure.
No channel debuts tonight, everybody. We are all returning panelists. So we're veterans in the movie collecting sector. All right, Evil Kangaroo saying hi to everybody. We got Cully Ann. I went to school with one of the filmmakers of Blair Witch.
That's very cool.
That's awesome, actually.
That's great.
I would love to talk to them about that movie.
Evil Kangaroo said, wow, that's cool, Cully. Emmett saying, so Tim, you will be down to see Alex Comics go against Delon Movies on Movies Collection Battles.
Heck yeah. I like both those guys. And the Dell pulls amazing picks when he's on.
Oh, yeah, I'm always ready for those battles. All right, let's get into now our, and we're probably not going in any particular order here, so these aren't going to be ranked, I don't think, but we'll start with the fifth found footage movie we are picking tonight. And let's go for Tim. What do we got?
All right. Like I said, I like to be different, and I'm actually not starting with. Ben talked about this with TV. I'm going to throw two TV picks in as one. Tales from the Crypt has an episode called Terror Television that is a mix of traditionally filmed and found footage. Really good episode. And X-Files season 7 has a cops crossover. X-Files.
Yes.
It is so freaking good. It looks and plays out just like a cops episode, but with the supernatural twist of X-Files. It is a blast. Yeah, I can't recommend this one enough. Solid episode here. Really great episode right here for X-Files. So definitely check that out.
Great choices, because I've never seen any of those yet, but I've heard so much about them. I need to check them out.
Dang, I wish I would have thought of TV. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, leave it to Tim to bring in the TV. You just knew something like that was going to happen with Tim. But I like it. We're spicing it up tonight, so that's great. Ben Buster, what do we got?
Oh, who here likes epidemic movies? Who here likes zombie films?
Yes and yes.
Ooh.
The
Good one,
Dollar
Ben.
Tree. The Dollar Tree exclusive right here.
The Blockbuster exclusive.
Yay, Blockbuster.
But yeah. Whoever thought you could do a zombie movie based around somebody recording the whole thing? Obviously, this movie did. Yeah, I don't really call it a 4-star masterpiece like it says right down there.
No.
No. I feel bad because that's from my home. That's from my hometown right here. I might have to find this guy and give him a piece of my mind. So, but yeah. So, but George A. Romero does a bunch of these of the Dead movies, and this one's another one in that line. Let's just put it that way.
So you're saying that's not as good as Dawn of the Dead? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Not on that
Yes.
level.
No.
Okay.
It can't even see Dawn of the Dead from the level of that.
Maybe they were streaming it on their phone. That's why they captured everything.
All right, Mark, what do we got?
So my first one, I guess my fifth one, would be Chronicle.
Oh, great choice.
Heck yeah.
Great choice.
I really like this movie. I remember when the trailers came out, I think I was in high school, and I went and saw it, and it was awesome. It was like a very different, I think we were just beginning to enter the peak of sort of these superhero movies. around this time. I want to say it's 2010. I can't tell you for sure though, but it was sort of a different spin on it. Not only is it found footage superheroes, but it's sort of one of them kind of loses it a little bit, and so you've got this struggle. It's about three friends who all kind of gain these superpowers, and one of them's filming it from a video camera and stuff, and it's really interesting. This was Josh Trank. He went on to do another superhero movie, the much beloved Fantastic Four movie that kind of killed his career. I feel like I don't know if I've seen him do anything else since then, but this was really good. Chronicle.
I don't think it would have killed his career if it wasn't how he handled it. He did not handle that whole.
He seemed like a bit of a jerk from the press that I read.
Yeah, yeah. He kind of tanked his own career. But yeah. I also really dig this movie, and my area is not exactly known for a whole lot of like actors or anything like that. But Dane DeHaan is actually from Allentown, so
no kidding.
That's not very far from me. That's very cool.
I really like Dane DeHaan.
Yeah.
And isn't Michael B. Jordan in this as well?
Yes.
It's an early role for Michael B. Jordan. So before he really
2012.
2012. That sounds right. Yeah. Yep.
All right, Mika, what do we got?
Okay, so I'm gonna pull oh, can you see it? Lake Manga. I don't know if anyone has seen this one. Yeah. So it's from 2008. It's an Australian film, and it's kind of like a documentary style. They do a combination of found footage and like documentary style, which is cool. But it kind of follows a grieving family. They've lost their daughter who passes away in a drowning incident, and they could start to experience some really weird things happen in their home. It's really focused on grief, but it kind of throws some supernatural elements in it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Lake Manga.
That movie's creepy. I got some creepy stuff in it.
Well, so what's crazy is I bought this based off the recommendation. Everyone was saying how amazing it was and how creepy and scary it was. And I don't know if my expectations hyped it up too much because I watched it. I'm like, damn, that is not like near the level I wanted. I'm like, it was fine. But I think I spent most of the movie like looking at the background, like, where's the ghosts or whatever's going to pop out? And there was none of that because that's not what this movie is. So I need to give it a rewatch because my expectation level just completely, I guess, ruined my experience with it.
Yes, it's more like just atmosphere, creepy atmosphere. It's not going to give you really jump scares. And like I said, I think it's really more on kind of like, I think, grief and kind of just a little bit of supernatural elements. But I think it's well done, but it's definitely not like a jump scare or anything like that.
It's very subtle, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. Tim, was that like an Arrow release you had of that one?
Second Sight.
Second Sight. Yeah, that one looks really nice.
You can still get the movie itself, but this whole like box set thing is long out of print.
All right, Nate, what do we got?
All right, so my 5 through 2, not ranked. My 1 is my 1, like the absolute one. But I feel like I'm about to be like you, Mike, from that possession stream. I think everyone's going to pick everything I'm going to pick. So I'm just going to do it anyway. I also had Chronicle for number 5.
Hell yeah.
Now, I think Mark said it well. I don't have too much to add. I think it is a very clever premise to use the format for. I wish more filmmakers would, if they're going to do it, do something like that. The best part of the movie is probably the fact that it launched Michael B. Jordan and Dane DeHaan, really. Because this was before Fruitvale Station. I remember seeing Michael B. Jordan in that, and then this, and then Fruitvale Station. So he was good. Too bad for the other kid. I don't ever think he blew up, really. I don't even know anything else he's in. But Dane DeHaan is great in this. And yeah, as far as like an original superhero story and supervillain, really, this is more like a supervillain story.
Yeah, it's like an origin story.
Yeah, so this is what Brightburn wishes like it was, in my opinion. I think it's a great film. That's my number 5.
Well said.
Yeah. Oh, great choice. That movie's so good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't believe nobody has pulled this title yet. Finally, I get to pull something first, so I will take it because no one pulled it. So Cloverfield, yes. And this is the new Steelbook slipcover here.
Nice.
Excellent movie. It was actually my first time watching the movie. and it was excellent. It was action movie. You got those kaiju monster in it and the little monsters that come out. Very fun movie. I thought it was going to be boring at first because you got that party scene kind of going on. I'm like, hey, what is this? Is this going to pick up at all? But then it totally does, and the action is very fun. It's just a great movie. So if you like kaiju monsters, Cloverfield is a must, and the steelbook is great too, and affordably priced. So yeah, I love the way the steelbook looks. So I had to pick Cloverfield. Just a fun movie.
Mike, have you seen, since you just watched that for the first time, you didn't see 10 Cloverfield Lane, right?
I did see that one. That's the one. Who's in that
John
one?
Goodman.
Yeah.
John Goodman.
I saw that one before I saw this.
I loved 10 Cloverfield Lane. They
Yeah.
have nothing to do with each other besides supposedly the same universe, but that one is so
I
crazy.
also love the one in space too.
I
like
think
that
I
one.
think that was a movie that was like a different. It wasn't originally connected when they first wrote that
Yeah.
script, and then they kind of reworked it to make it a Cloverfield movie.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's still very good. I might actually like that one more than the original.
That's where I said I like the original Cloverfield, but 10 Cloverfield Lane really
Yeah.
grabbed me.
No, I think I like that one
I
more.
agree.
Yeah, but what
I agree,
surprised me with Cloverfield is I didn't know Matt Reeves directed this movie until I saw the credits. I'm like, okay, no wonder why it's so good. I'm like, why is this movie so good? It doesn't feel like it should be that good. But I'm like, there we go, Matt Reeves. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know if we're going to get another chance to talk about Cloverfield. We might, but I'm going to say this right now. I was in like 7th, 8th grade when the first trailer for that came out, and they didn't even tell you the title of the movie. It just had a release date, and it was that trailer, and with the Statue of Liberty's head getting thrown down the street. And I remember it was like, that was kind of like my generation's Blair Witch. Like I was 3 years old when Blair Witch came out, so like I didn't get to ride that viral marketing campaign necessarily, but this movie, I was like, all the online speculation. There was like people highlighting stuff in the poster, trying to like, if you look here, there's like a face, and like it was, and like speculating what it was going to be about. Like that was just such a fascinating time to kind of be at just like wondering what this movie was going to be like. And then ultimately, I think it doesn't age as well for me as like we were just saying 10 Cloverfield Lane, but just being around when that was coming out was such a
I remember watching it in theaters with a group of friends, and everyone in the theaters like, whoa, like when the big reveal happens with the monster. And it's like, whoa, okay. And it's like, one of my friends goes, I'm getting sick because of the shaky cam the entire time.
Yeah, it's very shaky.
Dude, that never bothered me until I rewatched it like in October, I want to say. I rewatched it for the first, like in a while. And like I had seen it many times prior to that. And the shaky never bothered me. And then for some reason it bothered me that time. So I don't know if it's like
the shaking was getting to me too.
Yeah, I was like, am I just getting older now and this isn't bothering me? Like, I'm only 28. Like, I feel like,
that's why I can't do the found footage sometimes, because I do get motion.
Yeah, that's never been. It's weird. It's sometimes it bothers me, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, but Cloverfield is great because you get to actually see the monsters. I know it's like some movies, they barely show you anything with the monsters or just like a little glimpse, but like you actually see the entire monster and their face and all of that. So I'm like, okay, this movie knows how to do it. That's really
it shows
cool.
you just enough. It doesn't give you too much of it. It leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
All right, let's check these comments out. All right, got Fish in the house. Welcome, Fish. Hello, everyone. I'm working, so I have to check out the replay. Absolutely, Fish. Huck is saying, Ben Buster, love the Blockbuster exclusive case. I need to get
I did that.
Oh,
I do that too. That's pretty cool.
And you said, Ben Buster, that was actually at a Dollar Tree, though, that you found that one?
Yeah, I found that at Dollar Tree, along with Survival of the Dead. So
I would have grabbed it too,
which is a sequel to this.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wish I'd seen that in a Dollar Tree.
All right, we got Adrian saying, hey there, Huck. Everybody saying hello to Adrian. Evil Kangaroo saying, I think Troll Hunter and Blair Witch Project are my favorites. Yeah, I haven't seen Troll Hunter yet.
Neither have I.
It's good.
I hear it's good though.
Me neither.
It's like Scandinavian or something.
Yeah, I think it's Norwegian.
Norwegian. Yeah.
That sounds right.
Cinema Man says, what's up, party people? Tim has a found footage origin story out there, but the tape got sold in the blowout show.
What in the world?
Like, where is it? Where's the copy of that? We need a 4K of it immediately. At Blockbuster, of course, it was sold 99-cent special. Hug is saying no, it's because we appreciate good cinematography. That's why shaky cam. For most movies, I will say shaky cam doesn't work that well, especially like fighting action movies is like awful. Yeah,
it's a fine line. Like, obviously, the more shaky, the worse it is. Like, I'm okay with certain found footage where it's like, well, like slow pans and stuff. But if you're just like, I'm like, like just relax. Like, you're giving me nausea over here.
But Cloverfield was so good. I'm like, I'm okay with it. It's like, it's so good. At least I'm seeing monsters during it, so I'll take it. We got Amazing Anna here. Hey, everyone. Yes, Amazing Anna is napping right now, so she is here.
Yay, Anna.
All right, let's see. And everybody in the audience, keep those comments coming in. We totally appreciate it. And of course, hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're visiting the channel for the first time, subscribe. And of course, super chats, always appreciated. But let's get into now our fourth found footage movie. All right, Tim, we pulling out more TV shows on this one?
No, not a TV show here. All right, so kind of pumped to be able to talk about this one first, and maybe no one else has it. But when COVID started, it shut down everything, and people had to find creative ways to still make movies. And Host, I'm shocked how good this was. I really enjoy these whole, I don't even know what you call them, like computer screen movies. But this movie, it takes place just within the 60 minutes of the free trial of Skype. It's so entertaining. Like, you actually see like the countdown timer for how long you have left in your trial still going. It's really well done. This is creators, filmmakers realizing, hey, we have to find a way to still make something, and it worked around it and made this, and it's entertaining as hell. Like, this was a bright spot of everything being shut down. It's like, oh wow, we still got a pretty awesome movie. So yeah, I dug Host a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. So what happens? Like, the trial ends and then the person's done?
Oh yeah, it literally, when the trial ends, the movie ends.
Oh my goodness. StreamYard's going to do that eventually. StreamYard's going to do that to me. And they're like, I'm tired of you mooching off of me, not signing up for the StreamYard subscription.
Yeah, the movie is, I think it's 59 minutes. It's 65, but that will be throwing in the credits and stuff. So the movie itself is like 59 minutes long.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Nice.
It's pretty solid. I mean, doesn't overstay its welcome, which is nice. Sometimes it's similar to Unfriended, except different. And the cool thing with that movie too is that they didn't they all got the script separately and didn't really, like, they just pretty much did it on the spot there. You know, like, it wasn't like tons of prep and tons of rehearsal and tons of stuff like that. So like a lot of the reactions were pretty genuine. So it was cool. But yeah, I felt it could have used another 10 minutes, but it was fine at 60 at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, Ben Buster. What do we got?
Well, my next one's from producer Todd Phillips, director of Hangover. Mike, you mentioned Parties. It's the only comedy on the list.
Oh, yes. That's a good one, Ben.
Yes. You want to talk about found footage movies? Have you ever been a senior in high school and want to document everything?
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
It's a party to the break of dawn.
Well, like we stated earlier, there's not much in the genre that is not horror. I just wish it would do more comedies in the found footage style.
Yeah,
it would be hilarious, especially if you did something like, I don't know, say Dave Chappelle or even Chris Rock doing stand-up. Somebody doing stand-up and someone's watching it and something happens and they are like frantically trying to figure out what's going on. Like, I mean, there's so much room for comedy in found footage stuff that hasn't even been touched yet. But this one being a party, living up your senior year, I mean, right there, look at those pictures. That just screams, especially with the gnomes right up there. Yeah. Any movie with a gnome is a good movie. So,
That's a good one, Ben.
Yeah.
You know what's
Great
hilarious?
choice.
I saw that movie with a friend of mine, and
Yeah.
she cried at it because the part where the car goes into the water,
Yeah.
and
Oh.
she just felt so bad. Like she literally was like attached to this movie so much that she started crying, and she was like, "He's gonna get in so much trouble," and I'm like, "What? This is like funny," and she's like, "That's not funny," and I'll never forget that movie just for that story.
That's awesome.
Literal tears at Project X. So she
Yeah.
might have been the only
Property
person. I don't know.
damage is no joking matter.
She's like, he's gonna be in trouble forever. I'm like, okay, you're right.
Yeah. But for the rest of your high school career is just infamous. You know what I mean? That was a bomb party though.
Mhm.
It was.
That's one that actually came out when I was in high school. So like I was constantly hearing about people who are having a Project X party on the weekend, and it was like 4 dudes in a garage, and it's like just not at all.
They,
but
they
also
never got it to that
just-
level.
No.
Yeah, it was like people would actually you'd hear it on the news, like people actually trying to recreate that movie. It was an interesting time.
It was kind of like when Jackass first came out.
Yeah.
Everyone was trying to do all that too. So
Yeah, I'm glad you picked that one, man. I
Yeah,
forgot
that's a
all about
good
that.
one.
thank
I
you.
guess it's my turn. Speaking of Dollar Tree, this is one that I found at a Dollar Tree.
Oh, yeah.
The Gallows. How many of you have seen this?
I saw it.
Yep.
I haven't seen
So-
the Gallows.
Admittedly, this is not what I would consider to be a good or even great movie, but there's something about it that I just really enjoy. It's set in a high school, and I'm sure we've all been in a school or like a hospital or someplace like that at night at some point, or thought about it anyway. And there's something about a high school at night that is very creepy.
Mhm.
I think this movie taps into that really well. It starts off with like a play, and somebody actually dies in the beginning of the play, and so it's sort of I won't say much more, but it's like a parent's POV, like they're filming their kid in this play from the audience, and it's like it looks very real. But yeah, there's just something about this that keeps me coming back to it. Again, I know it's not very good, but I just really think it has like a certain niche. I don't know too many other found footage movies that take place in a school, and I think that's what I like so much about it. I just wish it was a little better so that you could really capitalize on those. But this is one that I'll put in every so often and just don't have to think too much about it. But yeah, I enjoy this for what it is. The Gallows.
See, I haven't seen
I have
that
to
one
watch
yet.
that.
But I feel like I've seen the trailer for that. Is that the one where he uses like a hanging rope on people?
Yeah. There's like a rope. I didn't want to say too much about the plot. I think I said too much anyway with the people. That's like the first open. It's like a cold open. It starts with the kid dying on stage, and the rest of the movie kind of follows those events.
Yeah.
But yeah, they made a sequel to it like 6 years later, and I haven't seen that because I heard that was even worse. So I was like, I probably don't need to.
Well,
watch.
What? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say they hyped that movie up so much with the trailer, though. I don't know if anybody remembers the trailer. They were like, "Oh, Freddy has his claw, Jason has his machete,
Yeah.
and this guy has his noose or something."
This guy,
I'm like, okay, this is
I
like
was broke.
something like
good
that.
man has a rope.
It was something like that, but I just remember that trailer so vividly because I'm like, oh, is this like going to be the next like big like horror icon of our time or something?
No, certainly.
No.
not.
What was
No,
it, like
no.
I see that.
Harley or
I haven't
something?
seen it.
Harley has his noose or
It's
something,
yeah.
something like that. They
Bob
hyped it up.
has
They
a
did a
noose.
good job of marketing.
Mostly in the spirit of trying to pick something that I was positive I don't think anyone else was going to take. I mostly went with this, but I do find enjoyment in it. So I would say go in with low expectations and maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised.
So when you were talking about the way it starts, my God, is that one of the most cliched things though, where the movie starts out with a kid getting killed or maimed in some way, and then it flashes to the rest of the crew so that they can start being picked off throughout the movie.
Yeah.
That happens so many movies.
Well, it's like the beginning is like in the 90s. It's got like the little VC the home camcorder, the date in the bottom. It's like 93, and then I think it cuts forward like 10 or 20 years even, and so it's like modern day. And so the ghost of the kid is they try to put on the same play that he died in.
Mike, we could have picked this for it's a possessed play. pretty
Oh,
much.
there you
They
go.
do the play,
Is
and it's possessed by Bob the Newsman or whatever his name
Sound-
is. I don't know.
I also
Sound-
remember his name.
Yeah,
Mark, it almost sounds
Bob?
like
I thought it was Charlie for some reason.
Charlie
I
the
was-
Newsman.
I think it might be Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
I'm telling you,
It-
I feel like I remember that trailer so well. Like I usually don't remember trailers for movies, but that one was so hyped up.
Yeah, I haven't
I,
seen
know.
I enjoy it for what it is.
it almost sounds like Stage Fright, the remake with Meatloaf, where
Mm.
they're at a camp and they have to perform a show, and then the killer shows up at the show because he killed the original
That
actress.
one's more like a
of that.
slasher.
It's kind of like a
Yeah,
Phantom of
I
the
know.
Opera situation.
No, I know. I know it's kind of right around that same ballpark.
Yeah.
In the theater.
Mm.
Yes.
All right, Mika, what do we got?
Okay, so I'm going with 2007's Wreck. Yeah. Does anyone saw this?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So this is not the American remake. Quarantine. This is what this is. Quarantine is based off of, but this is the Spanish film, and it follows a TV reporter. She's doing a story on the fire service. They get called to an apartment building, and some mayhem ensues. So I'll just give that little synopsis. I don't want to give too much, but yeah, I just love this movie, and like I said, I love the original. Not really a fan of the other. So Wreck is my fourth pick.
I actually
Yeah.
like the remake too.
Me
I
too.
kind of like them both.
I haven't seen the original. I'm afraid. I'm ashamed to say, but I've seen the.
I haven't seen them either.
I like the remake has Jennifer Carpenter. I like Dexter.
Oh yeah.
They had a box set of that too, right? From Scream Factory, didn't they
Yeah, I
have
got
like a
that.
whole collection?
Did
Oh,
they?
there we go.
I need
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's one of the few their box sets that I don't have.
Yeah, I saw it on sale one time on
Yeah.
Amazon, and I'm like, oh, should I get it? Should I not? And I'm like, maybe not right now,
Yeah.
maybe later. But then I think
Yeah.
it's sold out, and I'm like, oh, I should have got it.
Yeah.
All right, Nate, what do we got?
All right, I'm changing my approach. I was gonna pick stuff, like try to pick one. I have one that no one said, but you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna start picking stuff that. So I actually have here quite possibly the best horror film this year. That's what it says on the box,
Ooh.
and it's not, but it's like Mika just picked, and I have Quarantine. Here. So I have Quarantine. It's quite possibly the scariest horror film of the year. Now, it's not. I agree. I actually agree in that I do think Wreck is better, but hear me out. I think Quarantine is also good.
Yeah.
I don't really have it's scary. Like there's some good. I mean, it's mostly jump scares because found footage mostly lends itself to that. That's kind of the
Yeah.
gimmick.
Mhm.
But I think they're pretty well done. I think the story translates pretty well because that's a Spanish film.
Mhm.
And any city really, you could do this story. It's an apartment building. There's some kind of evil virus thing that's going around. And I have zero problem with subtitles. I love foreign films, but in a movie like that, it's way easier when you don't have to read and also have the camera moving around a lot. Personally, and I don't really like dubs for some reason. I'd rather just watch an English one.
Mhm.
I do think Wreck is better. I think Mika picked the better movie, but Quarantine is still worth your time, and I think it's a pretty solid remake as far as remakes go.
So
Agreed.
one quick nitpick with the cover of the Blu-ray, which I think was also the poster. You don't know it going in, but that's kind of a pivotal moment in the movie, and they just throw it out there.
Especially this lady back here. Like, look at this. Spoiler alert. Like they should have just did that, and it would have been better. It would have been better. But yeah, it's literally the end of the movie. You're right, Tim. This is like the very end.
Yep.
Mhm.
Interesting. Well, now you've all seen it, so there you go. You just watch Wreck, and it's
Yep,
it'll
don't
be
need to
brand
see
new.
that one now.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Nice.
All right. So I am shocked nobody picked this title because I think it's amazing. I'm gonna have to go with Project Almanac. If anybody's seen this movie, I love time travel movies. So it is absolutely a fun time just to see him kind of discover how he can go back in time with his group of friends. And of course, they do like high school things, some funny stuff, try to win the lotto and things like that. But it's great to see how it plays out. Of course, it doesn't always turn out the way they want it to, and it kind of comes back to them towards the end. But it's a really fun movie. If you love time travel, you got to check out Project Almanac. But yeah, this one's great. Has everybody seen this one out there?
No.
Yes.
No, I haven't seen
not.
that.
Oh,
going
it is
to.
so good. It's
Nope.
a must watch. Really, really good.
I think the director of that ended up getting the Power Ranger. Dan Israelite, I think is the name. He did the Power Rangers, like the new live action one, off of that movie, and yeah, it was pretty fun. It's time travel. It's different, you know, as far as mixing the genre a little bit.
It's one of those movies like I really enjoyed watching it, and I've completely forgot it existed. But it was entertaining.
Yeah, I haven't rewatched it since I have it on digital only, and I haven't rewatched it since I saw it. But I remember liking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome, especially like you guys said, getting something different for found footage, you know, instead of horror, throwing in some sci-fi in there. I'm like, I'll take it.
Mhm.
And you know, it's kind of like coming of age too, because you got the high school kids, you know, and they're all there. So all right, let's see. We got let's see, everybody saying hello to everybody. We got fans of something in the house, hosts from the makers of Dashcam, one of the worst found footage movies ever.
I've heard
Agreed.
nothing good about Dashcam.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
haven't
like
heard.
it.
Yeah, I haven't heard good things.
I thought it was okay. I mean,
I couldn't take the main, like I barely made it through. That main character was killing me.
wait, isn't the main character? Isn't he from Stranger Things? Is that the same person? Am I thinking
No,
of
the
the
one,
same
that was a
movie?
woman.
You're thinking of Spree.
Oh, I'm thinking of Spree. Never mind. I've not seen Dashcam, so it probably
But
is a bad movie. I'm
Dashcam
totally thinking of
sucking
Spree.
doesn't take away from host being good.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, because the way
Okay.
you worded that, host from the makers of Dashcam. But it's reverse, right? It would be
It's,
Dashcam.
yeah, it
from
was
the
a
makers
step.
of
It
Host.
was a step down, I think.
Yeah.
Dashcam. Yep, haven't seen that one then.
Same.
Very skippable then, I guess. Cinema Man says The Hills Run Red is a fun, cheesy, fun, good time found footage film with a twist. Haven't seen that one either. Let's see. Amazing Anna said, I just watched that today. That was Project X. I was watching it as well. Yeah, Amazing Anna was like, cover your eyes. You cannot be seeing all those ladies over there. Especially because I was watching like the extended, like unrated edition or whatever. Amazing Anna says, never seen Quarantine. Hard copy Blues in the house. I saw Quarantine before Rec, and I quite liked it.
I saw Quarantine before Rec also.
I think it plays better that way. If you see Quarantine first, you will probably like it better than if you see Rec first, I think.
Amazing Anna says, I don't even know if I have seen Rec as no way. If I haven't seen it, Amazing Anna definitely hasn't. Yes, Mega Movie Mom saying Quarantine is scary. Haven't seen Rec yet. Ooh. Even my mom's seen it. Oh my goodness! Now I have to get all this. I'm like, okay, my mom's seen it. Now I have to see it. All right. Yes, it was on TV passing through, and I got hooked. Okay, there we go.
Look at that.
Nice. All right, now we're on to our third found footage movie. All right, and of course, everybody keep those comments coming in, hitting that subscribe, that like, and of course, those super chats. Always appreciated. So, Tim, what do we got for our choice here?
One of the things I like doing in these types of streams is I like looking outside of the box and or just cheating in my picks. And I'm going to cheat here, but I will stand by it. In this movie, they find footage and it's shown. I freaking love Sinister. The whole movie is the premise is finding footage, and the footage is gnarly. Sinister 2, I really like the first Sinister though, like quite a bit. I think Bagul was a cool character. The found footage was done really well, I thought. Yeah, not too much. It's cheating, but I wanted to talk about Sinister. Ethan Hawke is never bad ever. So yeah, I recommend this one if you haven't seen it. I know some people don't like it, but it gave me goosebumps. There's creepy jump moments in it.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's scary. It's good.
Were you gonna pull that one, Mark?
You saw me just get up just now. I literally just because Nate took Quarantine, so I was like, let me pivot because I also had Quarantine sitting here.
Hey, you could still do it. Just be like me. Just start
I
picking what
will
everybody else picked.
probably, but I wanted to find something different. I was like, oh, Sinister, and I'm like, freaking
Sinister is so good that I've seen so many horror movies that you become jaded. You know, it's like, well, it's not really scary. I like it for the entertainment value. That movie, I'll never forget. I don't jump when I watch movies. Like I go with friends and like, how do you just sit there like a stone? I'm like, well, look, I've seen a lot.
Mhm.
That movie has a scene, and I won't ruin it in case you
Mhm.
haven't seen it, but it has a scene that I didn't jump, my insides jumped, and like it's one of the best, like most effective jump scares I think. I'll just say it's with the lawnmower part. The lawnmower
Yeah.
part absolutely scared the crap out of me. And after that, it's like no matter what else happens in this movie, I love this movie because it got me like to have some kind of reaction. But I think it's a great movie, and Ethan Hawke is great in it.
Yeah. So was it 4 films inside? Four families?
There's the pool one. There's the
car
one
with the
car. There's the lawnmower. Yeah, it
and the
might be
tree.
it's 3 or 4. Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah.
I think it's 3.
So
Isn't there something where they're like tied to beds inside, or is that
that's
the
the
second?
that's the pool.
They're tied to pool chairs.
I thought that maybe I'm thinking of the second one. There's like a thing where they're all tied to beds, and they're like, oh, I don't know, something.
I only
So
saw
do
the
I
one
still need to
once.
see this movie now?
You need to. Yeah, you need
Now
to.
that I know
Yes,
all of the
yeah.
kills.
Don't worry.
The found footage sections, though, as he shows them, they don't just like pan away. You see the whole footage he sees, and holy crap, are they like they bring you goosebumps? Like they're gnarly. They really are.
Scary. Yeah, it's very scary. I think they did a great job with that one.
And so, are all like the kills then and scary parts are the found footage? Is that like the main focus?
There's other parts, but the creepiest stuff is in the found footage section. But the whole movie has this creepy atmosphere once you start knowing about like Bagul and you're looking in the background of areas, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, there was actually a thing that just was it last year or the year before, some scientists figured out what the scariest movie of all time is, and Sinister was actually considered the scariest movie of all time. Not even joking.
Oh, I'm excited then. I got to definitely check it out. Ben Buster, what do we got?
Tim wants to talk about cheating, huh? I have one here that will be cheating. So, right there.
District 9.
District 9. You might be like, hey, but that's cheating. It's not really found footage. Yes, Charlito Copley plays a journalist who's into the slums of an habitat for aliens, and that's the found footage aspect of the movie. Yeah, and if you don't believe me, here's the wiki list right here. I know it's hard to see.
Yep,
With
it's
Rec
on
2,
there.
with Rec 2 right there, yeah, it's on there. So it's like, hey, it counts. So thinking outside of the box and kind of cheating on this one. So
Yeah. They do consider it a found footage, though. Yeah.
yeah.
Has
What
documentary elements. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
count it.
Yeah.
What I shouldn't say fall. Neil Blomkamp's still going, but he was being talked about as like one of the next big up and comers. He was going to have an Alien film, which that got scrapped. Poor guy. I liked everything he did. Like, people ripped into Chappie. I liked Chappie. There was horribly annoying characters in it, but they're supposed to be horribly annoying.
Yeah.
I like Chappie too. That's me and my wife's movie. That's what we saw on our first date. So
Oh.
You have to like it. There's no
Yeah.
you can't not.
But yeah, District 9 is great. I wasn't even thinking about that one, but great choice. I mean, it's kind of, like you said, that documentary style with the aliens and everything. So that's great. All right, Mark, what do we got?
Well, I think I'm going to pivot. I know I could still go with some of these, but I'm going to talk about something else. I don't have it in a physical copy, but both of the Creep movies are my number 3. This is
Great.
Yeah, Creep.
Awesome.
Mark Duplass is the titular Creep. Those movies are so, I haven't seen them in a while, but I remember really loving them, and this just reminds me that I should probably buy them because they're both very creepy. And it's sort of like this Craigslist ad that the guy puts out where he's like looking for a videographer to kind of document him because he's dying of cancer and he wants to leave something behind for his son or something like that. And so this guy's being paid very well by him to just kind of follow him around and video him. But he starts doing all this weird stuff. And he's like, is it worth the money? Like, this guy's doing weird shit. And it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. And so things sort of escalate from there. But really creepy, really subtle creep. They're both very good. I think I watched them on Netflix. This would be years ago now. They're probably not on there anymore. But seek them out. They're both very good.
Those are good ones, Mark. Yeah, I love Creep. Yeah.
Yeah.
That first one is hard to find. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they even have. Do they have Blu-rays? Like, I don't even
They,
know.
they do.
DVD only, I think.
They do have a blue. I think it's on not an American version though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to own those because I really like both of them.
Yeah. But the DVD for the second one you can find pretty easy. The first one DVD, that's like it's usually expensive. People sell that for crazy. Yeah.
We'll have to check eBay after this.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if I don't think mine is cheating, but I'm gonna pick you guys. I don't know if you guys seen this, The Fourth Kind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've
I've
heard
heard
about
of it.
that.
Heard of it.
Yeah, so it's alien encounters. Mila Jovovich plays a psychologist. The history is there's these people who have been supposedly being abducted by aliens in Alaska. She's a psychologist and she's doing these videotape sessions with some patients who've experienced these encounters. And I think it's really well done, very, very creepy. I don't want to go into too much detail because that kind of gives it away, but basically that's a little synopsis of it. So The Fourth Kind I'm going to go with for my number 3.
I heard that was very creepy.
Oh, very.
There's
I haven't seen
There's a lack of alien abduction type in this genre would work really well, but there's not really a whole lot, and there should be because
it lends itself well to it. Like trying to capture footage of a UFO. Like people try to do that all the time.
Mila Jovovich mentioned that movie.
Yeah, she's the psychologist.
Okay.
Yeah,
I saw that in the theater. Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, and the tape sessions. I think it's really creepy. Again, atmosphere, a lot of creepy atmosphere, and then the tape sessions are really well done.
Yeah, what does The Fourth Kind even mean? Because I'm like, when you pulled that title, I was thinking like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I'm like, well, what is the
one
fourth
up
kind?
This is the fourth kind.
Yeah, I think that's what it's actually doing. And I also saw there was like an asylum movie, like I think The Fifth Kind. So they're just working their way on. They're working their way down all the time.
The 10th kind eventually.
Like the asylum movies, like the Sharknado and stuff like that.
The Sixth Kind. That's the Sixth Kind.
That one's in pre-production right now.
Yeah, and it stars Bruce Willis, doesn't it?
It very well could. Very well could.
All right, Nate.
People.
Oh wow. Okay, so I finally am gonna pick one that no one picked. So very exciting times. Okay.
Better not.
Well, I apologize if I do.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I go fifth, so it's not like I can't.
I
have
know.
no control. But okay, this is one I just rewatched recently. This is from Ty West. If you know Ty West,
Oh, love Ty
yes.
West. Yes.
recently did some X, did a little bit of Pearl. Now, I think this is a tale of two movies for me. I think the first half is like really good, and I think the second half is fine. But it's a movie called The Sacrament.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
So this is essentially the setup is actually really clever. It's a documentary crew from Vice. So they use Vice as like their kind of setup. And they are going to this like a cult, like Jim Jones, if you're familiar with the true life story of like Jim Jones. And they're going to this place where this guy's sister is. And she's invited him to come. So they want to document it and interview him and stuff like that. The first half is it leads to a lot of dread of the situation. Like, it's very off-putting. You have all these people and they're just there and they think they're in this happy place. And then once they interview the guy, you're like, something ain't right. This is kind of weird. I mean, something's not right from the jump, but it gets worse. And then the second half, it's a little generic, but it sticks with the format all the way through. It makes sense why they're documenting it because they're literally making a documentary for Vice. And then by the end of it, it comes to a logical conclusion, not totally satisfying, but I would still recommend it because I do think the first half especially is good. It's only 90 minutes. So the first 45 minutes is great. The second 45 is good. Not great, but good. But it's a solid movie if you've never seen it. And if you like Ty West, it's a good entry in his it's different from his filmography that he's done.
You sold me with Ty West.
Yes, Ty West. Yes.
Yeah, that's not one of his I've seen, but I am like one of the biggest Innkeepers fans out there.
Me and you, Tim. Me and you.
Yeah,
we
love
that.
I'm trying to work my way through his filmography too, so that's on my list for sure.
Yeah, he wrote it, directed it, edited it. It's like his baby, pretty much. Yeah. Eli Roth was just a producer, so it doesn't have his like stink too much on it. But he was one of the producers because they're buddies. So, but yeah, it's a totally Ty West thing, and it's in this genre, so it worked.
Yeah.
That is definitely a stream I'm gonna have to do in the future. A Ty West ranking stream when
I'm on it. I'm
next
on
game
it, Mike.
comes out.
Mike.
Yes,
I'm on
I
it.
got
Okay.
I got Tim for Innkeepers alone, so I can talk about Innkeepers.
Yeah, I think me and Tim are the only people who like Innkeepers.
I just
I
saw
like
that
that movie. I enjoy
just
that
saw it.
movie.
Oh, you like it, Ben?
I just saw it. So
You're like, I just saw
Did
it.
you
That's
like
it.
it?
Do you like it? Or?
well, it was
just saw
more- I just saw it. It was like for my first time watch. It's like okay, I might have to revisit it again or to actually understand. Like
Gotcha.
actually say if I like it or not.
Oh my
so.
God, Ben was like, I just saw
I
it.
just saw it.
I just saw it.
It's
Yeah.
a movie. It played on my TV.
I saw it.
It had a
It's
runtime.
on my
it
shelf.
had characters. It was a movie.
It was
It's got a
movie.
great poster. One of the best posters.
Yeah.
Like it is
it does.
fantastic. And what was this? House of the Devil was the
I like
one
that one
after that?
too.
Still
Yeah,
haven't
House of the
seen that.
Devil.
That one was cool too.
I need
Yeah,
to watch
that's a
it.
good one too, Mark. Yeah, House
I
of
hear
the
it's
Devil.
very good. Yeah.
House of the Devil spends like 80% of its runtime really slow, with her just being a babysitter, and then shit just goes off the rails. It is
That's
crazy.
like my favorite kind of movie, though. I love that where you're just
Cool.
sitting with a scenario, and then you're like, I know this is gonna go bad,
Mhm.
and that's what I'm ready for. Is like that's
It's
yeah.
like a really slow burn.
I love
Like
Yeah.
what it's burning to is like a stick of dynamite. Pretty much. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's
Like,
even better. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a slow burn, the payoff needs to be incredible.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, that's most of his movies, right? Don't they kind of start off slow? Because even like X started off kind of slow. So
Yeah.
I feel like X and Pearl are his most accessible kind of like commercial mainstream things.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one, and didn't he do the Cabin? He did either Cabin Fever. Well, he did a Cabin Fever movie.
He did
I know
Patient Zero. That was like one of
Patient
his
Zero.
very
Oh,
first, I think.
that I wouldn't say is that in that
Mhm.
format,
Yeah.
but his first, the Innkeepers and House of the Devil,
House of the
especially
Devil. Yeah, I love
very
those.
slow burn.
all right, now to get into my title, and no one picked this title, so yay! I will take it, and it's gonna be out of my Blumhouse of Horrors 10 movie collection, and that's gonna be The Visit, which I was just
Oh, yeah.
watching before this stream.
Oh,
To me, that is one of my favorite Shyamalan movies. I think it's so entertaining, and I love the twist. So I won't give anything away, but I think it's one of Shyamalan's best like twist in the movies. And I just think it's well done. Like the grandparents are so creepy and just all their movements, especially the grandma. It's like, what the heck's going on here? And Catherine Hahn, you get Catherine Hahn in here, which is great. And like her ending interview is fantastic as well. Very emotional there. And then in the end credits, when the kid starts doing his rapping song, that is absolutely hilarious. So to me, this movie has everything, and it's like an hour and a half, so it's a super short watch. But I really like The Visit. I don't know how many people like it out there, but I think it's one of Shyamalan's
Had
better
it.
movies.
I like it.
Oh, there you go.
yeah, I did have
I'm
it.
not a. I can't stand Shyamalan Shyamalan for the most part, but I'll give him credit. That one's pretty solid.
Mhm.
Saying
Naked
it's one of
old
his
people.
best, that's not very hard considering his filmography sucks. But
He hit or miss.
Hey, Tim, we're
I
trying to
stay
keep
with him, though. I
people
stay with him.
excited for my Shyamalan stream that's going to be coming up
Oh,
in a
God.
week. And lots of cabins coming out. So we got to keep people excited, Tim,
I
okay?
couldn't even put together 5 of his movies that I would put on this.
Really?
Wow.
Really? He hit or miss, but I stay with him. I
I
like
love
him.
the movies. I
I
really
like them.
like them. There's
Tim,
only
you
a
can't-
couple
you can't
out of
deny
them
that-
I don't care for, but
The hat trick of Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, and Signs is one of the
I-
best 3.
I hate Signs.
Ooh.
I hate Signs.
There it is.
And there's your sign.
I know.
Get him on
I
the
like him.
stream.
I like him.
All
I
right.
like him. He hit or miss, but yeah, he good.
Let's not go on a Shyamalan rabbit hole.
yes,
I
we will
know.
save that for another stream. Amazing Anna says, hey, not true. I've seen movies you haven't seen. Yes, you have seen some movies I haven't seen. Gus saying, Vin, Paranormal Activity creeped me out for a week. I couldn't sleep with the light off. Yep, those movies are definitely going to come up here soon, I'm sure. Hard Copy Blue says, love the first Paranormal Activity movie. Gus saying, you're a brave man, Vin. Hard Copy Blue says, District 9, such a great sci-fi classic. That is one of the best sci-fi movies I would
I haven't
say.
seen that still.
You have, oh, you gotta see District 9.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so
man.
good. so good.
Too many movies, not enough time.
Gus says I need to watch District 9 movie. Hard copy says, does that make it sound like a Mighty Ducks movie?
D9, calling it.
Oh
D9,
yeah, D9.
D9, the Mega Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
It's the 9th one.
Gus says yes, it does. Ha ha ha. Fourth Kind was good and creepy as hell.
Mhm.
We got Damn Dirty Ape. Have you all seen Gunjai? I cannot say
No.
that word. Haunted
I have not
Asylum.
seen
I have
it,
not
whatever
seen
that
that.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
And
I'm
I
assuming
think
it's like a-
it's my first time seeing you, Ape, in the chat. So definitely make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for joining in. Hard Copy Blue says, heard of it, haven't seen, been on my watch list. Gus says, Mike, apparently the fourth kind is abduction. So that's the fourth. They're abducting you. That's when we get into the fourth kind. Amazing Ann says, you gave the end credit away. Oh, for the rap? I don't think that's a spoiler though. The kid
Yeah,
rapping.
it's
I
not
don't
gonna
think
ruin
that's
anyone's
in the
a
movie,
major plot spoiler.
Yeah.
But it is amazing. I'm telling you, like it catches if you're seeing it for the first time, it does kind of catch you off guard, but you're like, oh, this is great. Hard Copy Blue says The Visit is great fun. His return to decent filmmaking after a few creepy scenes in there. Yeah, I'm telling you, that grandma like is super creepy. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? Amazing Anna says, I like The Visit as well, and I only watched parts of it. Yeah, that's when Amazing Anna was waking up from the nap. She was catching a few scenes, but she did see the twist in there, so that was worth it. Gus says, I love Signs. Gus says, I also enjoyed The Village. See, The Village is one I remember watching, and I'm like, what is this?
I love
can't
that one too, Gus. And it had my girl.
Yeah, that one's
Really?
good.
I need to go back and watch it then, because when I was watching, but I only watched it as a kid. I'm like, wait, what?
I might be the only one who likes it, and it got my Sigourney, so
It's Roger Deakins shot, so it's a beautiful movie. But his fascination with needing a twist in everything drives me crazy because I hate the twist.
Oh, I love the twist.
I hate it.
I agree.
That's
Well,
one of
That
the
was the
like
one
it.
where I didn't care for the twist.
There was
That's
no
one of my
twist in
favorite
The Last Airbender.
Ah,
the way
The
that
whole
they do
movie
that.
was the twist. The whole movie was. You think this is gonna be a good movie, huh? Well, here you go.
That's the twist. It's not a good movie.
I can't defend him on that one. I will say. I can't
After
defend
Earth,
him.
there was no twist in that. I don't think
Yeah,
either.
no. He's. I don't love Shyamalan, but I think he's had one of the biggest like drop offs out of anyone. Where however you feel about him, you can't deny Sixth Sense was like had a chokehold on society at the time, and he was really popular at that time. And then just slowly his quality of movies just.
he
I
was
like
on,
this. Like this.
he was on.
It is. It's more like this because he.
Yeah,
comes-
that's what I think it is. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
He was on. It was either Time Magazine or one of them, and being talked about as the next Spielberg. Back around the time of Sixth
Yeah,
Sense.
something like Signs would probably be why
He came
they
out the
would-
gate hot.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
did. He did. He really came out swinging, and it's been down. Like he came out with Split, and Split was great. And then you got stuff like Old, which I don't know how you guys feel about Old, but I friggin' hated that movie.
Yeah.
He did The
And-
Happening, which is one of the worst movies
There you
of
go.
the past couple of decades.
Actually, I think I'm the
But
only one.
entertaining.
Happening,
It's,
too.
Funny.
it's entertaining.
I love
but
the
it's,
happening.
oh,
What if that's the twist?
We got to defend Shyamalan. And we
What if that's the twist?
Put me on the screen.
yeah.
We keep getting sidetracked by Shyamalan.
The
You
twist
gotta-
is that The Happening was actually a comedy, and that was the twist because it's hilarious.
Mike,
Yes,
you,
it is.
you might need
Mrs.
to have a
Jones?
Shyamalan stream, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, I am. I'm having a Shyamalan stream too because I'm excited for Knock at the Cabin. So
There you
that
go. That'd be
is,
perfect.
happening in about a week. So.
That'd
with
be
Knock at
perfect.
the Cabin too. I'm hating that the marketing. Is
Oh
all-
my gosh, Tim! You're like just the commercials. I hate it. I hate the commercials.
Well, so it's not.
Give it a
It's not
chance.
even his story though, and they're
The
not
book,
advertising
the
that it's a Paul Tremblay book at all. It's like
Mhm.
this is M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin because M. Night Shyamalan wrote this. It's like, shut up, dude. You didn't write the book. I don't like him.
All right. So Terrell says, "Hey everyone. Hey Terrell for joining in.
Thanks, Terrell.
Obviously, hey Terrell. We got Hard Copy Blue says Village was a victim of poor marketing. Spicy 4K Action say what's up, all. Amazing Anna toasting the something. Gus says I agree, Vin. Let's see, everybody saying hello to each other. Gus says, I enjoyed the twist at the end. See, there we go. Got some fans out
I
there.
thought it was a pretty effective twist.
Mhm.
Yeah, Terrell says, I love twist. Airbender was awful. A joke. Pure trash. Gus says, that's why I love his movies, because of the twist. Yeah, to me, he's all about the twist. Like, if the twist doesn't hit, then it's like, okay.
He did it like 3 times in a row, and he was like, I can't stop now. I have to keep doing it because
That's what he's known for.
people expect it now.
Mhm. Emmett says, how would you guys compare the Nightmare on Elm Street? What Emmett, you with the random questions always. Literally, what is, okay, you know what? I might as well plug in something then, okay, because it will fit with that. Well, I'm gonna have memberships on my channel where you can sign up to be a mega movie master, and you get a choice of a video a month you would like to see. So Emmett, if you would like to see that, that is only $19.99 a month. So
plug
you
that,
can
Mike.
choose.
Plug it.
I gotta plug in, especially I know Emmett has those ideas. He wants to see these videos. So there you go, Emmett, once a month. You'll be able to choose whatever video you want, and we'll do a Nightmare on Elm Street versus Halloween movies ranking. We'll make it happen just for you. Yes. All right. Gus says, I enjoyed Old, but the twist was a bit weak than his past movies. See, I liked Old overall. It was like mid Shyamalan for me. Hard Copy Blue says Tremblay novel is excellent. Read
It
this.
is.
That's
His
good.
name,
Then. That's a
his
good
name
sign.
should be in the marketing. Damn it. It's not at all.
All right. Well, on that note, oh my gosh, Hard Copy Blues. You gotta, hey, you sign up for that too, and we'll totally do a ranking comedy stream. Absolutely. Okay, so now we are on our second favorite, right? Second found footage movie, the runner-ups here. What do we got to?
Getting into the good stuff here.
All right. So I mentioned Host before. I am really digging this whole computer screen subgenre, and Searching was
Great choice.
So good.
such a surprise. For anyone that doesn't know, the story is just his daughter is missing. Fantastic performance. The whole time is he's spent on her computer and stuff trying to figure out what happened to her. Where is she? It comes to a satisfying conclusion. It is so well done. And what that Missing, is it officially a sequel? But Missing is
It's a loosely based sequel.
Yeah.
okay. So
But it is great.
I want to see that too
Yeah,
because of how
yeah.
much I loved Searching. I want to see more of this subgenre too, and even outside of horror. Like this is not horror at all. So
Missing was really good.
Yeah,
And the funny thing is, like,
good.
it's like in the same world because in this is not really a spoiler, but in Missing, there's a Netflix series, and one of the episodes they do is the story from Searching.
That's
so
cool.
yeah, so it's like tied
I
to it,
didn't
like an
catch
unsolved mysteries type thing, because it's called the disappearance of Margot Kim, and the girl's watching it, and then that's from Searching. So like it's like they're both real life things that happen, which is but Missing was almost as good. Yeah, it was.
I like that. I definitely have to go to the theaters for it.
Yeah, I haven't seen Searching yet. I just went into Missing blind, like not expecting anything, and it was like so good. I'm like, yay, the January movie curse is broken with
You will
Missing. I'm like, finally a good movie here.
You'll totally like Searching then.
Searching
Oh
is better,
yeah.
I think.
I
Oh,
saw
I'm
Missing
excited.
at a Regal does these mystery movie Mondays for like $5. You can just go see a random movie, and I went with a group of friends, and it was Missing, and I haven't seen Searching, but we really enjoyed Missing. It was a pleasant surprise for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Ben Buster, what do we
All
got?
right. Well, this one was already talked about by a couple people here. From the director and writer of Capone, we got Chronicle.
Yes.
Nice.
Capone.
Yes. Well, because when you said he really didn't do anything after Fantastic Four, he did that. So,
Didn't see that.
but I like this, and I like how the main character in here expresses himself through video, and that's his emotions and his expressions are tied through his work with video, and I think that's just an amazing concept of a movie. So,
Oh, the movie.
Josh Trank. Capone. That was a good one to pull out the bag. Yeah, once he got fired off of that Star Wars movie, that was it. His
Yeah,
career.
he just did not do himself any favors.
No.
All right.
But
Mark.
Capone is also kind of crap. So
All right, so this is another one no one's picked yet. If you're about to pick it or have been planning to pick it, I'm sorry, but Behind the Mask, Rise of Leslie Vernon. This is just such a unique, special movie. If you guys haven't seen it, you should have seen it by now. But if you haven't, it is about Leslie Vernon, and he is a sort of serial killer. Maybe not in the making. He's, I guess, a practicing serial killer along the lines of Freddy, Jason, and Michael. And he has this camera crew that's following him, and he's sort of what I love about it so much. It's a horror comedy, but the comedy's done so clever. It's such a clever movie because he sort of breaks down how he's able to do all the things that serial killers do in these slasher movies, like cardio and being able to appear like you're just walking after somebody, but when they're not looking at you, you're sprinting, and the typical cliches of like when she is at work, the girl, and she takes out the trash and she hears a noise, and it's like he's got it all broken down, and he explains it and how he's able to do it, and it takes a turn at the end. I won't spoil it, but this is just such a special movie. I wish we could have seen more in this universe. It's got a nice cameo from Robert Englund in here. He sort of plays the Loomis type. But yeah, Behind the Mask, this is such a great movie. I love this movie so much.
I still need to see that movie. I hear everybody talking about it like it's one of the best. I'm like, I have not seen it. I need to check it out.
Hopefully I didn't say too much about it because I was very excited about it. I don't think I spoiled really anything other than sort of the structure of some of the jokes, but it's still really good, and you should absolutely check it out, Mike.
Yeah, and I didn't know Robert Englund was in it, so I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's very fun. It's a fun role for him.
And so he's like a main character in it then? Like,
yeah, he's not in it a ton, but when he does show up, he definitely
makes an impact.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. Mika, what do we got?
Okay, so I'm going to pick I think As Above, So Below.
Nice.
I don't know if anyone else has picked this, but I think it's really underrated, and it doesn't get a lot of love. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's it follows an archaeologist. She's looking for this stone which can turn metals into gold, and it kind of gives you like eternal life. Those are some of the elements of the stone. And she finds out that it's buried underneath the catacombs in Paris. So she gets a team together, and they have to go in these catacombs to try to find it. And then, of course, again, mayhem ensues. I think it's really well done. I think it's scary. Yeah. So As Above, So Below.
Fun fact about As Above, So Below, it comes from the master director of found footage films, John Eric Dower.
Yep, and
of course did Quarantine, which you didn't like that much, but also the Poughkeepsie tapes. I don't know if you guys ever seen that.
He made all of those?
He did, and the Poughkeepsie tapes was like one of those lost movies. I remember like it was made, and then I saw a trailer, and then I didn't see it till like 10 years later because it wouldn't come out. I was being a little cheeky there. He's all right. He's an all right director, but he keeps doing these found footage movies, so maybe it's his lane.
Yeah, him and his brother wrote this one, and he directed it.
I like that one because it's very claustrophobic. It's almost like The Descent meets Blair Witch, kind of where it's.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was way better than I thought it was going to be. I'm like, I just got like the free digital of it, and I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. Probably won't be that great, but it's pretty entertaining. And I like how they tie in like the historical like Paris stuff with it, with the catacombs and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's actually one I rewatched quite a bit though. And for found footage film, that's rare for me, so I really enjoy that one.
Nice.
All right, Nate, what do we got?
Well, I can't believe no one's picked this yet, so I'm just gonna get it over with. Because, like I said, my one. So I'm gonna go with Paranormal Activity, the first one. Now, I don't care. Okay, I am mostly a fan of the series. I do not like 4. I hate the last one, the Ghost Dimension, the 3D one. But I like the marked ones, and I like the first 3 pretty good. Now, I think the first one is the best. It was one of those movies where similar to other movies that have been mentioned and that might be mentioned. It's like one of those moment in time type things. 2008, I think it was. And it was like, if you want this movie to come to your theater, to your town, text this number, because like it was like a very slow rollout. I think it played festivals, and then like it was playing a little bit, and then the more people text, and the thing was a juggernaut, right? Like it cost nothing, and it made a ton of money, and I thought it was very unsettling. It wasn't like super scary, not to me, but I did think it was creepy. Yeah, I get a lot of the complaints, like, oh well, it's just like nothing happens, and then there's like 2 seconds of something happening, and then it goes to the next scene. But it worked for me. I thought it was effective, and especially for being on a shoestring, like it cost nothing, and it was filmed in the guy's house. I thought it was good. I enjoy that film. But the marked ones, I think the marked one's my favorite, but I always got to respect the OG, right? The one that it doesn't exist if it's not for that one. So I'm going Paranormal Activity 1.
So something pretty funny is you said you don't like 4. I didn't see the first 3 until I saw 4. That was actually my first one. Back when MoviePass, first time MoviePass existed, I was paying the $35 or something. So I was going to see like everything. So we saw Paranormal Activity 4, not seeing the first 3. I enjoyed it, but I didn't see the first 3. And because I liked it, I went back and watched the originals. So I have a soft spot for 4. I like it quite a bit, but it's a fun franchise. I enjoy it a lot.
Tim, you said, Mark, yeah, what were you saying?
I was just going to say, to Nate's point, it cost him $15,000 and it made nearly $200 million at the box office.
Yeah.
And he filmed it in his own house.
Yeah.
In his house. And he just, talk about a come up. Like, that is like I don't know how much, 500
like
times your budget.
8,000 times the budget.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, too, like he only did, I think, 2 movies, right? Area 51, which was also a found footage movie he did after. And that was it. He's got like nothing really. He's produced some stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he cashed those Paranormal Activity checks and then just stopped making movies after that.
Good for him. That's a dream, right? That is
good.
The dream right there.
I don't need to. He sold the rights. I'm sure he gets a check every time they make a new one, and that's it. So
yeah, it's one of the most, if not like the most like profitable movies of all time, budget to box office. So
yeah, it's like Halloween, Blair Witch, and that are like, I feel like the ones that are like they all dethroned each other as far as the most successful independent horror movies, I think.
And Mike, maybe Skinamarink will be next on the list. I don't know.
My God. Oh my God. That was going to be my dishonorable mention. Oh, Tim, I owe you an apology. I'm sorry for Dunkirk. I have a new most hated movie of all time.
Wow.
By far goes the Skinamarink. Oh my God.
I'm hearing mixed reviews because I have some people who like it, some people who don't have
I can barely call it a movie. Like I feel bad when I say it's a movie because I'm like, how is this a movie? I don't understand. It's like there's images on screen, but
it's not a movie. It's not a movie. There's no narrative. It's not a.
Like,
I'm going to check it out. I'll make an assessment.
Oh my goodness.
Good luck.
The critics love it, but oh my gosh. But
it's the longest
yeah, like Dunkirk,
of
I'm like, at least Dunkirk's a movie and it looks very nice. I will say that. Skinamarink, none of those things. None of those. Skinamarink does not look nice. Well, you can't even tell how it looks. You can't see anything. It's like, what is this? Oh God!
I'll check it out, Mike. I'll report.
Yeah, you tell me if you like it.
I like it. I bet you I like it.
Because the critics love it. Like it had like 70% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, oh my goodness, people.
You know what though? This is, and I don't want to take your time up, but it's one of those movies like you watch it as a regular person, and it's like what? It's one of those like, what did the critics watch? And also, it seems like critics are gonna gas it up because okay, the guy made it in his childhood home and it cost $5,000 or whatever, and it's a YouTube video that is 100 minutes long, and 4 people walked out of my theater. I barely made it through. I was like, I'm gonna leave. If nothing happens in the next 5 minutes, I'm gonna leave. And then something happens, but it wasn't enough. Like it's really terrible. I don't understand the reviews, but to each their own.
Yeah, that was an experience. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this?
I can't wait to see it.
I probably like it. I'll probably love it.
Yeah.
Me and Nate were trying to ward people, but now everybody's like, I gotta see it. I gotta see it.
If you just take your
Ring 2.
Yeah,
I mean-
take your phone, film the corner of your room for 15 seconds, then film your fan for 15 seconds, film your door, and then edit that together, and you've made Skinamarink. You can make it yourself. This
Me
is
and Mark
like
are
a huge thing.
intrigued, right, Mark? We're intrigued.
I have been hearing about it since like I want to say like late November, and I've just been like wanting to see it, and now I'm still gonna see it. I'm gonna watch it when it hits Shudder.
Oh
in
my goodness!
I think
You're-
less than a week here, so
If,
Yeah, next
You're
week.
brave, Mark. You're very brave.
I'm gonna
I'm
turn
like,
all the
really-
lights out. I'm gonna watch it in my room, and
if you if you have if you have Instagram people out there watching and listening, on my stories I had the way I love Skinamarink, and it's hilarious out there. So
I'll check it out.
I'll check it out, Ben.
Wait, Ben, you saw it and you said you liked it?
no, it's actually a joke.
Oh, okay.
A joke
okay.
clip
I'm
I
like,
found, and says the real Skinamarink I like.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Good.
Gotcha.
But, like literally, it makes like Halloween Ends look like a masterpiece. Like literally, I would rather watch Halloween
I mean,
Ends
it
10
isn't.
times before Skinamarink
Well, at
one more
least
time.
Halloween Ends has a story, so it's like you can
Yeah,
follow
it's a
along with
movie.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny though, like with Mark, Mika, that makes you want to see it more. And I'm at the opposite of I don't have enough time to see everything I want to see, so
Yeah.
I'm never gonna end up turning that movie on. It's
I never
Yeah.
really go by. I always have to see a movie myself.
Yeah.
I never really go off what people because it's always so different.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is different, but there's only so much time, and
Yeah.
like
Time is money.
Yeah,
Time
well,
is
see,
money.
I watch a couple. I watch like 2-3 films a day. You know what I mean? So I got the time. So I'll fit it in there.
I'm endlessly curious about it, and I need to come to my own conclusions about it. Just as the
I've been
horror
telling
fan that I am.
everybody to see it. And even
Yeah.
though I hated it, because I agree. Like people could tell me till they're blue in the face something is whatever. If I want to see it, I want to see it. But I think I've been telling people to see it, mostly friends, just so we could talk about it. There's nothing to talk about when they do see it. They're just like, what do you want to talk about? I was like, I don't know. I just want
What
to
do you
know
wanna
if you
talk
like it or
about?
not.
Yeah. Because I was just thinking, I'm like, okay, after everybody sees it, could we do like some kind
Yes,
of
let's do-
venting
yeah.
stream on it? But I'm like, what?
There's
what
nothing
we
to talk about.
What
I
is
like that part where they show the toilet for 15 seconds.
Oh
That was
yeah,
pretty good.
that was the
That was
best part.
pretty good, yeah.
Sadly,
And then it disappears and it comes back. I was like, what? The toilet? Oh my god.
We'll convert
Oh
it.
my goodness. See, this is more entertaining than that movie itself. Like literally, this is a lot more. You're getting your money's worth here, everyone.
It's found
Well,
footage, so
send
you
in
can
those
put it on
super
your
chats.
list.
It's on the list.
All right, so Nate kind of took my thunder with Paranormal Activity
Oh,
here.
sorry.
But I will pull Paranormal Activity 2 because that is my
Ooh.
favorite out of the bunch. I actually really don't like the first one. I thought the first one was pretty boring. So I thought this one was more interesting when it goes to the other family. And then I do like how it does tie into the first one by the end. So I do like the ending a lot better as well. So this is my favorite out of the bunch, but I will admit I'm not a big Paranormal Activity fan. I just got the collection because it was a pretty good value. Marked ones, like you were saying, Nate, that's pretty good. They get like superpowers and stuff. So I do like that one. The last one isn't too bad either. If anybody's seen Next of Kin, yeah, they go to like Amish kind of territory, and that one's kind of interesting by the time it gets to the last 20 minutes. So I'd probably take those 3 out of the bunch, but it's just not like a franchise I love. But it was like my first time watching all of them when I got the collection, and I was so shocked to be like, this is what everybody was hyped about back in the day. Because I remember when it came out, people were like, oh, it's so scary. Like, don't go in theater. You're too young to go see this movie. I'm like, oh gosh, it's that bad? Like, I can't handle that. And then I watched the first one. I'm like, really? Like, this was, I guess, a product of its time, though, as you were saying.
Yeah, definitely.
We were talking about it earlier. Like that's the type. All of those movies follow that same template of like weird stuff, crazy shit at the end. And then I feel like most of the time it's not enough of, like you were saying, a stick of dynamite.
Yeah.
It's not. It's more like a sparkler on like the 4th of July. It's just kind of like for those little.
Accurate.
Yeah, it's for most of them. I do like Paranormal Activity. I think the marked ones is my favorite. But there's just better found footage in my opinion.
See, that's why I like Cloverfield so much, because you do get a lot of action through the movie. Yeah, it takes a little while to get going, but then you have it for a good chunk of it. That's why I was so impressed with Cloverfield. I'm like, okay, we're getting pretty consistent action here now, so it's keeping me entertained at least. But those Paranormal Activity movies, some of them were tough to get through. Like they would put me to sleep, some of them, and then I have to go back the next day and like find where I was at, rewatch it. Like, oh,
You don't have to go back. Just fill in the blanks yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see how the chat's doing. Amazing Anna says, I'm iffy about twists. I want to fight some. You want to fight the twist? Oh my god! Amazing Anna, let us know what twists need to be fought out there that you just get so mad at. Oh, that's funny. Gus says, "What? Oh my god!" Now, Gus, I know Gus is joking out there. All right,
Right.
Gus says, "Searching was good. I enjoyed it." Yeah, that's awesome. Oh yeah, hard copy blues joining in on the fun. Amazing Anna says, "Oh my gosh, like Missing." Yeah, we saw that one in theater, so that was a good one. Really surprised by that one. Let's see. Gus saying Chronicle was bomb diggity. It's a good one. Absolutely. I was about to pull it too, but I'm like, everybody else pulled it. So if I do pull it, I'll save it.
Yeah, I was thinking I was going to be, oh, no one's going to think of Chronicle.
Well, I didn't think anybody was going to get it because it's like outrageous price on Amazon. It's like $20 right now. I'm like, who's going to spend $20 on a Blu-ray? And I'm like, well, I did, but
I found it in like a discount store for like $2.
Yeah, I think
oh my goodness.
I
I have
that
not
was
spent the $20 this week to get it.
$5 bin at
like
Walmart.
a Big Lots buy for me or something.
Oh my goodness.
$5 bin at Walmart.
Wow.
You are the buster of bins.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I
sense.
way overspent on all of these. Like, oh my goodness. Project Almanac was like $18. It was like, oh my goodness.
I feel like those very early Blu-rays can kind of go for money now, like from 2008 and stuff.
Yeah. And then watch 4K will come out next week, and I'll be like, oh my goodness.
I think you're safe on the Project Almanac.
Yeah.
Almanac's so good. Are you kidding me? That
I know.
one
I
was-
think you're okay.
love
I think you're
Project
okay.
Almanac. No, let's get a 4K. Why
It's
not?
10th, is it its
Arrow
10th
release
anniversary
of
might be
Project
coming up?
Almanac.
Shout Factory Project Almanac.
No,
Dude.
they did give us Doom on 4K, so you never know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
True. That's true. Anything is
That
possible.
is true.
everybody's
Anything is
favorite
possible.
video game adaptation.
All right, Hard Copy Blue says, Doug's searching, but it doesn't have any rewatchability. I actually sold it after watching, even though I liked it.
I guess if you know the end, but that type of movie is so clever.
Mhm.
Like it's to put a whole narrative just on a computer screen and make it like captivating. It's creative.
Yeah, I would think they're more rewatchable than like Paranormal Activity stuff. To be honest.
Rewatchable is such a subjective thing, I want to say. What might
Yeah, I
be
mean, it's a good
rewatchable
thriller,
to me?
right? Like most thrillers, once you watch them and you know kind of the twists and turns.
Yeah.
I think Searching's a great thriller. It just happens to be on a computer screen, but I think the journey is still worth it. But I agree. I think it's subjective, you know.
Alex says, hi, joining in late. Well, thank you for stopping by, Alex. Amazing Anna says, I'm surprised no one has mentioned As Above, So Below in a haunted house. Well, Mika took care
Mika
of
said it.
As Above, So Below. Yeah. But haunted house. No one's mentioned haunted
I missed that.
Yet.
Yeah, that's been Buster's favorite. Okay, we'll get to him on that. Hard Copy Blue says, yes, love Behind the Mask. Everything sets up for such a unique and cool ending. Great pick.
Yeah, that's not cheating, right? I mean, this would qualify as found footage.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like it's like mockumentary style. Yeah. I wasn't sure about that one. But
Yeah, I've been waiting on that one because I feel like they'll do a 4K of that one eventually.
Scream. I swear I started collecting Scream at like the worst possible time because now everything I have is like, hey, it's coming out in 4K, $36.99. I'm like,
Here's the exact same special features we already
I'll
released.
pay.
And it's the theatrical posters. It's like I'd prefer the old art that you did. Like, why are we? I mean, I know you want to differentiate, but like,
I'm actually in
get
the
some new artwork or
opposite
something.
there. I love that they're actually doing the original theatrical posters. I do love that.
it's nice for sure because a lot of people do prefer theatrical posters. So
Amazing Anna says, oh yeah, Mika, we think alike. Hard Copy Blue says, if Paranormal Activity never spawned a franchise, how would it be thought of today? Probably not. I don't think so.
probably not very much at all. I would say.
I think it would have come in past like a year or two.
It would have been
later.
this like behemoth that came along but that's the thing. Since it made so much money, it was always going to make a sequel. Like there was no way they weren't.
All right, Alex says I got to check out Skinamarink now. See, there we go. I mean, me trying to warn people and save you all some time. Everybody's like, I have to see it.
I guess
that movie was gonna make so much money.
if I was already interested in something and people told me it sucked, I'd still see it. But I had no care on Skinamarink, so telling me it sucks, it's like, okay, well now I'll never ever put it on.
Yeah, that was what I was excited for January, so it was already on my list to
It's
see.
been on my radar for a while now.
Hard Copy Blue says Skinamarink is so divisive, it makes me want to see it.
Yeah.
A lot of people,
Yeah, a lot of people love it. Yeah,
That seems like a thing that you cannot be just like in the middle on. You
Mhm.
either hate it or you love that.
There is no
Yeah.
middle. You're right.
I
There is
gotta
no
get
middle.
a stream. I gotta get a stream with like 3 people that hate it and then 3 people that love it. Like just verse.
Like you can't
be
say
something
it's
with
it's
it.
it's a movie that's beyond saying it's okay. It's like you either thought it was some sort of masterpiece or the biggest pile of garbage. There is no. It's not okay because
Yeah.
there's nothing to base it off of. It either works for you or it don't.
Mhm. No, there's no baseline for something like that.
No, y'all all got to see it. Go check it out in the theater while it's there.
February 2nd, I think it should.
yeah,
be
next
on
week.
Twitter.
Come out. Yeah, next week.
Okay, never mind. Watch it at home. It's probably better. Or watch it on a
Yeah, I'm
laptop
not
because it's
paying
like a
to see
YouTube
it.
video anyway. So
Yeah.
I can't pass any harder.
Yeah, and if you're watching it and you're like, why is the quality so bad? Is like my Wi-Fi going out or something? No, that is how the movie's supposed to look. Just-
It might make it better.
Mhm.
It could,
Yeah,
actually.
if it helps,
What's
if you
going
get some
on?
buffering, it'll make it more better.
Alex says critics are artsy fartsy, but I don't even think it's a good like artsy fartsy movie though. Like that's Alex says hearing that makes me really not want to watch it. Hard Copy Blue says Skinamarink sounds like it's a David Lynch film if he made it in college after smoking pot.
It's not a bad comp,
David Lynch's short films are probably a lot better than
Yeah.
Skinamarink.
Mhm.
but it's not a bad comp. It's very Lynchian, I guess. But even his stories have stories and characters. This has neither.
Gus
has
is saying,
walls.
I don't like demonic movies. Well, I don't even think it's a demonic movie if you're referring to Skinamarink. I didn't feel it was a demonic movie. Let's see. Unless toilets are demonic, maybe. All right. Alex says, did you force yourself to watch the entire box set? I did. Because I'm like, okay, I'm going to get them. I'm at least going to watch Paranormal Activity, all the way through. I'm going to watch all of them. And afterwards, I'm like, yeah, not very impressed by most of them. So, but I mean, it was so cheap anyway. It was like under $60 for that many movies.
Yeah.
Why not?
Mhm.
Looks okay on the
I
shelf.
almost
so I'll
bought
take
that
it.
set too. It was at my Best Buy, and I'm like, I can't do it. I got the skinny box that has the
Mhm.
first 6 in them, and I'm like,
Mhm.
just can't do it. I don't have space for that. It's just, and it's not a great. It's just not something I need to own again.
Watch all 6 on your Blu-rays and then watch it on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like I love a nice making of documentary, so I was like thinking about it for that, but it's ultimately not worth it for me.
And let me get your all thoughts on this. Do you guys feel like putting it in higher definition makes a big difference on the found footage? Because the stuff I've been watching, I feel like it's not a big jump up. Is that just me? Like, because even with the Cloverfield 4K, I didn't think it was like a massive jump up, but maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think by their very nature, it's kind of hard to like. It's not something that really needs a 4K. I would say
Yeah.
you can watch it.
Yeah.
Found footage, it plays better on like a VHS. Like,
Yeah.
so by having it on 4K, that's not a big selling point.
Yeah.
For me.
I mean, unless they're doing big audio changes, I would.
Yeah,
agree.
well, you can see you can see big upgrades in terms of audio, but video, it's not. No,
Yeah, kind of in the original format, I would say is better for found footage.
yeah, DVD is good probably for most of these.
Mhm.
Venancio, the horror cholo. What's
Hey.
up, my people?
My dude.
Thank you for stopping
I
by.
know. Love
Yes, I know.
Benicio.
Arrived.
So I will say, actually, to that question, something like District 9 that been pulled, that lends it. So that's a good. That's good.
That's a good one.
That
Yeah,
is a
because
good
of
one.
sci-fi elements.
Yeah.
All right, now we're on to our first found
Ooh.
footage movie choice. Let's see what
Wonderful.
everybody. There's been one that hasn't.
There's
come
like 2
up, but
titles.
like-
I'm surprised
like,
I haven't seen.
Yeah,
This
like
is
how
where-
has this one not come up?
Yeah.
Now it's gonna come up 6 times.
I would not be surprised if we all had the same number one.
You guys probably already know what I have, but with talking about what Paranormal Activity did with its marketing, it owes all its marketing ideas from Blair Witch, because this was a marketing genius. I swear to God, what would I have been, like 12 when this came out? I thought this was real. A lot of people thought this was real. The marketing on this movie was absolutely genius, and it's a big part of why this movie made boatloads of money for its tiny, tiny budget. It doesn't freak me out watching it now, but that ending, it still gives you a little bit of goosebumps with that ending. It's a great movie, and all of what we're talking about tonight owes to this movie. Like, this is the OG pretty much of this genre. So
Hell yeah.
you're all probably gonna be talking Blair Witch, I imagine. So
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that though, Tim. Like, people thinking the found footage stuff is real, because you'll still get people that think, "Oh, found footage, it must be real. It's a true story. It has to be."
Think back to 1999. We had internet, but it's slower internet. Not everybody has internet. We don't have these things in our hands. It was much easier for people to actually fall into the idea of, hey, this is real footage that we're watching. And 12-year-old me thought, holy crap, this is real.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work today, you know.
No.
But you have to put yourself in 1999 when you watch something like that, because you can't be too jaded by what's come after it, because there was a lot of, lesser titles that followed it.
Fun fact for Blair Witch: the guys who directed it, Eduardo Sanchez and Daniel Myrick, I think, they went to the film school right here in. I live in Orlando, and they went to UCF, which is like University of Central Florida. It's like literally 5 minutes from my house. So I feel like that's a local, even though they didn't film it here, it feels like it's an Orlando movie, just because the filmmakers went to school there. But I agree with what Tim was saying. Like, I didn't see that movie when I was 12 because I wasn't allowed to. But I remember the trailer and being like, "What the heck is that?" With the girl crying and it's like up her nose, and I'm like, that looks horrifying. I was just scared of that, and seeing it as an adult. I didn't see that movie till I was in my 20s. And so I didn't find it scary because it's not real. I think the ending is cool, but the rest of the movie, it's like, but the impact it had at the time, it's another one of those, like, you had to be there. And it spawned a genre, in my opinion, really. Like, the whole thing. It doesn't exist if Blair Witch doesn't do what it did.
Yep.
And I don't think anybody's going to pull this, but did anybody care for the sequel to the Blair Witch Project that came out not too long ago? Anybody care for that?
Wait, you mean Book of Shadows or the remake?
2016.
Yeah, I was thinking the 2016.
Because I guess Book of Shadows.
I guess it was a remake then.
That's not found footage. Well,
It was like a sequel to the original. Book of Shadows is not really a sequel.
It's a very unique sequel, and it's a shame it's not better, because it's actually kind of an interesting concept. It's like a movie about the reaction to the first movie as if it was real life, and people, because a lot of people went out to that place it was filmed, Burkittsville, which is a real place if I'm not mistaken, and they made pilgrimages there to see the Blair Witch themselves, and it was sort of a big tourist destination for a little while after it came out.
But the 2016 one, I don't remember much about it.
It sucks.
What sucks is I like Adam Wingard.
Yes,
that was a letdown. That one.
It reeks of studio meddling, I want to say, because I feel like Adam Wingard has a better Blair Witch movie in him than what we got.
Yeah.
Wasn't it originally called The Forest? I thought they changed it into a Blair Witch.
They tried to do some cool throwback to the 99 marketing where they released a trailer for a movie called The Forest, and then they were like, surprise, it's Blair Witch, and it was just kind of like a wet fart.
They just called it The Forest.
Yeah.
Maybe would have done better.
Yeah.
None of that type of marketing could work now, though. It's all about that time period, pre-cell phones. It's just it was a special time, though. That was I was so scared seeing that movie. I snuck in. I bought tickets for a different movie because I wasn't allowed to But yeah, snuck
That's how
in to
you
go
had to
see.
do it, Tim. That's how you had to do it.
Now they're like at the theaters, they don't even care. They don't even check tickets anymore. As long as you buy popcorn, they're like, go see whatever you want. Just get it here. They don't even have the box office anymore outside. It's just like, come in, just get in here. We need some people in here. All right, Ben Buster. What do we got?
All right. So I'm not pulling Blair Witch. So, but anyways, the first one I did is one that in this whole genre I watched first. So it's actually a found footage movie. They play it off like it's a lost footage movie. It is. I couldn't find my copy of it. I own it though. Apollo 18.
Oh, I remember that movie.
There's a reason we've never gone back to the moon, and it's this movie. Well, no. They play it off like the Apollo 18 mission was that this tragedy happened, that it blew up and everything, but you actually see the lost footage of what actually happened during the movie. So, yeah. I mean, it's a decent. Oh, what? Oh, look, it's a space exploration movie. Oh, wait, it's just a found footage movie.
I
That
remember
was
when
not
that
the
came out.
sequel to Apollo 13 then?
It is. No, not it.
I saw that. I saw that at the theater in a double. This is gotta be. If you could, this could be the best double feature of all time or the worst double feature of all time, depending on how you look at it. I saw that, and then right after I saw Shark Night 3D in a double feature.
That's a double feature
Yeah.
for you.
Wow.
Incredible. It was. I mean, both theaters empty. I was the only one in there for both of them. It was great.
Which one did you prefer?
I am an unabashed fan of Shark Night 3D. It's horrible, but
It's
I
bad,
love
yeah.
it. I love the music video at the end credits. Like, I love the whole thing, but it's trash. Apollo 18 is probably better, but I don't remember it as much.
It's not as hot of trash. It is
It's
still,
not as trash as Shark Night.
Yeah.
But thus it's less memorable than Shark Night 3D.
All right, Mark, what do we got for first place?
It's Blair Witch. And can I just say, I mean, it might exist already, but I feel like we need a better release for this. Like, we need a boutique label to pick this up and give it a nicer, because this is just this movie deserves a better release. But that aside, this is the GOAT. This is the best found footage movie that probably will ever be made. For a lot of the reasons Tim touched on, the time was everything for this. Like I said, I was born in '94, so I wouldn't have been able to have experienced this marketing. That said, I did see it when I was in like middle school to high school, and it still worked for me. And I've only grown to appreciate it more in the years that followed. There's something so special about a movie where this movie made rocks scary. Like, it made sticks scary. Like, you come out of your tent after camping in the woods and there's just a pile of rocks stacked up next to your tent. And it does so much more by not saying things. Like, the idea of there having been someone outside your tent and you didn't know about it in the middle of the night, and what else did they do, or what could they have done? But all they did was pile rocks. Why? It's all in like your head, and then the ending is so iconic, I feel like, and it's the type of thing that I feel like people probably hated at the time, because then it just cuts to black and you're like, that's it. But for me, I'm like, oh my God, like, I couldn't know if I could have handled more. So Blair Witch is just it's so good. I don't watch it often because I think I like to space out my viewings, but I'm actually due for another watch of this because it is and it's actually it's set in '94, so it's '99 as we all know. But yeah, Blair Witch, man,
Really good goosebumps when he's standing facing the wall.
Mhm.
Like, pretty good goosebumps.
And there's great lore too. I won't talk too much about it because I'm sure we might be getting some more. But just the whole of Rustin Parr and the serial killer who made people stand in the corner, and it does a lot of like world building too in this. And then that's like aside from the Blair Witch. So there's a lot of different elements going on.
So you brought up a boutique, by the way. This is Lionsgate. How about a nice Lionsgate steelbook?
Dude, where's it at?
Yeah.
Where is it at?
Could you
Dude.
imagine the slip has the cross, the stick cross or something like that goes over top? That would be really cool.
I would not be able to buy that fast enough. That would be so awesome.
All right, Mika, first place.
Okay. I'm gonna pull it as well. Yeah, I mean, Tim and Mark really said everything there is to say about it. But like Tim, I remember when it when it did came out, the marketing campaign, the publicity around it, everyone talking about oh my God, have you seen this? Friends who went to see it, and like Tim, kind of had to sneak in to see it. So I really enjoyed it, and like I said, this kind of started the found footage, genre really, and we all said it. Without this, you wouldn't have really that genre. So I'm not going to say too much because I think, like I said, Tim and Mark said everything there is to say about it. But I just love this film. This is one I kind of rewatch. I usually rewatch at least once a year. And I just enjoy the way it's shot. That ending, I think, is one of my favorite endings. I loved it, and I remember seeing it initially. It freaked me out. But yeah, Blair Witch.
All right, Nate. Are we picking Blair Witch as well?
Take us home, Nate.
I am not. I'm not picking Blair Witch.
Oh,
So my movie was mentioned already, but again, it's my number one. There was no way I couldn't pick it. I was obsessed with this movie. Okay. Mark touched on it earlier. I will add to it. So I was my movie's Cloverfield, by the way. Oh, here it is. It's Cloverfield.
Nice.
This came out at the perfect. I was 21 when this movie came out. So I was 20 actually. So I remember seeing Transformers, and Transformers was where they had that first trailer, and it was the head coming, and it just said 1/18/08. That's all it said. And it's like, what in the hell? What is that? I'm going to forget January because it was only like July or something when Transformers came out. And then it's building. I'm like, oh, we're getting closer to that 1/8. I want to see what that movie is. And then the marketing, like, I don't even know if you guys remember, but they had MySpace pages for all the characters. And like, you can do all this research on all this stuff. They literally had like secret coordinates where if you were able to figure out these puzzles online, you can go to these coordinates, and they had like little drop boxes with like movie stuff in it for the film. Like, it was so much. And then you had like the signs on the doors at the theater. Literally, they had signs that was like, this movie might make you sick. You're going to throw. I was like, I gotta see it. All of this is just making me want to watch it. I'll never forget when HUD, whatever happens to him, they changed his MySpace page they made him 2'6" because he gets chopped in half, like it was just, everything about it was so well done. On top of that, I got wrapped up in the movie. I was born in New York, and I always like to go visit. I love movies in New York. So a big monster movie in New York, I'm there for it. The people in the movie were around my age, early 20s. So even the party scene, where it maybe is slow for people, I was like, I like all these people. You got Lizzie Kaplan in there, who's like, she's a great actress. TJ Miller, people's, mileage may vary. I thought he was funny as HUD, and they named him HUD, like, because he was the one that's the cameraman. Like, a lot of clever stuff. I even watched the movie on the Blu-ray, the one where it shows like the map of where the monster is. Like, you could watch it picture in picture, and it shows where the monster is while they're doing other stuff. And then when they intersect, all of a sudden he's on the screen. Like, everything about it, I love. I was obsessed with it for like the first 5 years that it was out. I wouldn't say I'm obsessed still, but I love the movie. I love the subway scene with the little like spider looking ones. I love Cloverfield. I agree. Does it like 4K video? Like, it's whatever, but I will always own this movie in any way it comes out. I will get that way. So whenever 19K comes out or whatever, I'm getting Cloverfield 19K first day.
Dude, do you guys remember there's that one scene in the very beginning of the movie where they're on like they're at like the fair or something, and there's like this shot of the beach, and it's in the
satellite?
Yes, the satellite.
It's at the end.
It's at the end. That's right.
They're at Coney Island.
The satellite is falling into the ocean, and that's what wakes up the monster. And it's like there's
so much lore. You want to talk about lore?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
and then as far as
yeah.
10 Cloverfield Lane, the tie-ins with John Goodman, where he works, was this company that was all tied. Like it's J.J. Abrams, so he's coming up with all this. Like Lost was tied to it, and this is tied to it, and Super 8 has stuff that was in like the Slusho stuff, and
Yeah,
I mean it's
Slusho,
so
yeah.
much. It'll make your brain explode, but. The movie's a lot of fun. Mike, I'm glad you picked it early. That way, it was a while before I talked about it. But
Yeah, I had
you.
to. I'm like,
You
I
picked it
feel like someone's gonna pick this. But there's 3 Cloverfield Lane movies, right?
Yeah.
Well, 3 Cloverfield Paradox.
I don't like Paradox.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't
not a
seen that
Cloverfield
one,
movie.
so that's not
Yeah.
worth watching then.
It's not.
It was made as something else, and I think they just shoved the Cloverfield name on it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
They did.
and I want to say that's how they did it for 10 Cloverfield Lane as well, but I could be wrong about that. But if they did do it that way, they did a really nice job of making it feel organic and
Yeah, I
making
love
that
that one.
that story.
The,
It felt like it would. I'd be surprised if it.
the
if it
end
wasn't.
of the end of 10 Cloverfield though feels totally like it's in that world.
Mhm.
Nothing about Paradox felt like it was Cloverfield, at all.
It's just like a quirky sci-fi movie.
Paradox was something called the God Particle, and it was its own movie.
Oh, okay.
And then they decided to like turn it in, and at the Super Bowl they dropped the title, and all of a sudden it was Cloverfield Paradox, and it came out right after the Super Bowl. And then Overlord, that was started as a Cloverfield movie, and then they scrapped it because Paradox people didn't really, so they cut the ties and made it its own separate thing. So it was kind of a weird. Just 1 and 2 is the 2 best ones. If you just watch those, you're good.
We're supposed to be getting another one. I thought. I remember reading an article about that where they're supposedly making another Cloverfield
From another angle. It was supposed to be like the whole thing from someone else's camera view. I would be down with that. I mean,
Oh yeah, is that what it was? That sounds
Yeah.
interesting. I would watch that.
So that one's gonna be more closely tied to the first one then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it would be set in 2008 when the first one happened, and it would just be from the view of someone else.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'm down for that.
And then there's a lot of cool stuff you could do with that because you could have you could see the events of the first one in the background or something like that.
Yeah.
There's some
Or the
cool
characters running across the bridge, getting
stuff.
wrecked
Yeah,
on the
there's some
Brooklyn
cool
Bridge.
stuff that you could do with that. I would like to see that.
All right, so my choice probably would have been Chronicle, but everybody else pulled that. But Chronicle is great, and yeah, it's such a good movie though. Like Dane DeHaan's character, and I love how it starts where you kind of think he's going to be the hero character, but then he,
That's a
completely
good
turns villain.
That's
and
a
all
good
of that.
point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I love that where it's like, okay, because we don't get a lot of villain stories out there, so
Yeah.
to have that angle in there, I'll take that all day. But I'll pull another one Ben Buster chose and just talk about it a little bit more. But Project X is absolutely amazing, and you have to check out the extended cut. It's so good. But the dog in it, the dog is hilarious. You get the little dog on the trampoline and doing some other nasty stuff. But the dog is hilarious. And you get Miles Teller in there. Miles Teller shows
Early
up.
Miles Teller role.
That is absolutely amazing. And just to see how crazy it gets, and by the ending, you got the flamethrower and all of that. And and then the little person fighting and nut punching people and all of that. Oh my god, what's happening right now with this party? It is so outrageous. And then the SWAT shows up, and just by the end,
neighbors, even the neighbors in that movie were hilarious.
Oh, it was
You got
so
the little
good.
kid is the bouncer. He's
Yes.
13 years old, and he's
the security was great in this movie. You just see them tackling people throughout the entire movie and
That's
everything.
just such a
Oh
fun
my
movie,
goodness.
man. It's
We need
juvenile
a
in
sequel.
parts, but that's what makes it great.
Sequel, Project
But
Z
did you
or
cry?
something.
Did you cry when you
I
watched
did
it?
not cry.
But
I know
it's
somebody
so
cried.
entertaining. But that last moment, you're like, oh my goodness, how is this going to play out? And the dad's just looking at that car, but the dad was kind of proud of him too.
Yeah, he
I didn't
was.
think you had
He was
this
like,
in
how
you.
many people
That's
did you
kinda
have here?
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
He was
So
like,
it was totally worth it to him.
Yeah, even though they're living in a hotel now.
So fun though, such a fun. If you're just in for a fun mood, Project X, it's just.
I need to own that. I don't have that Blu-ray. I'm sure
It's so good. I think that was the cheaper one out of the 3 I picked up this week, if I'm remembering correctly. So I don't think it was too bad on price. Yeah. All right, let's check out this this audience here. Let's see what we got. Hard Copy Blues. If I were doing any better, I couldn't handle it. I'm telling you, this is amazing entertainment for you all. Absolutely.
Yep.
Alex saying a lot of us thought Blair Witch was real. That's how it was. It was that first of its kind where it's just oh my goodness. Gus says, I love Blair Witch. I enjoyed the end, and it did not need a sequel. Yeah, I didn't even know it had that sequel. I was just thinking of the remake. So
it came out in 2000, and they like slapped it together real fast to capitalize on the success.
I grew to appreciate it a little bit more, though. It's not the original, but I don't hate Book of Shadows.
I don't either. It's like I said, it's such a unique premise. Like the lazy idea for a sequel to just be make another style like of the traditional, but it's not. It's not found footage. It's like more. It's like an actual narrative, like movie, and it's.
Yeah.
So I appreciated the angle they approached. It's just a shame it's not better.
Hard Copy Blue says, oh goodness, baby, my niece asked me if it was real just last year. Great ending. Yeah, I can see seeing it as a kid, you'd be like terrified. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Amazing Anna says, yeah, I thought it was real too.
I mean, the marketing was fully telling you it was real. So as a kid, it's like, well,
they wanted you to think it was.
Venancio saying, yeah, Book of Shadows is awesome. Alex says, double scare factor, fear of getting caught, and spoopy movie. Huh? I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Spoopy.
What's a spoopy?
It's just a silly way of saying spooky.
Oh, there we go.
Just a silly way of saying spooky.
Peer hangouts in the house. Hey,
Hangouts?
everyone. Hard Copy Blue says, I agree, Mark. A nice boutique release of Blair Witch. I'd love this.
Yeah, just like Tim was saying, I don't even need it to be a boutique. Just give me something other than this generic ass. And I'm sure there's an overseas release or something that has a nicer release than that. But in America, anyway, it's.
Venancio saying, man, I feel like Blair Witch is the most overrated horror movie. It had great advertisements at the time, but the movie for me is horrible and boring, and absolutely nothing scary about it. Ooh,
it's really for the, I think, like to the time, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think for the time it came out and for the marketing, like I said, that marketing was amazing. You have some films who have been successful now, but it really, really did a great job. And I think when it came out, like I said, I was around when it came out. That's why I kind of hold it in high regards, and I really think it was well done.
Yeah.
Venancio says, far from the first found footage horror film.
No, it's not the first. There's
isn't a Cannibal Holocaust?
Cannibal Holocaust and The Last Broadcast or two that came before it.
Yeah, it ain't the first, but it's the first.
The
big
connection.
It's better than both of those, I would say.
The whole subgenre wouldn't exist as it does today if Blair Witch wasn't the raging success that it was.
Yeah.
And that marketing, like I said, that marketing.
You know, like Cannibal Holocaust, you know, that gained popularity after so many years.
Yeah.
And
that was
the
not
last
an
broadcast
immediate...
was British, right? Like that was like a BBC thing.
Yeah.
So Blair Witch was like the first mainstream, big, huge moneymaker found footage movie. I think that's more so where it's like the first.
And I can totally understand somebody saying that they don't like Blair Witch. I would never fault someone for thinking that way, because it's very much like, I appreciate the subtleties of it. And then something that you get with a lot of later found footage movies is, you know, you've got it's Blair Witch feels the most to me like, I know that it's not real. I never did think it was real. I was too young, but I could believe that the most. Where so many others fail is like, I don't have that, so I have that disconnect where it's like, I know this isn't real, so I'll enjoy it on its own merits because of that. But Blair Witch is the only one, in my opinion, that is able to tap into that realism.
Oh yeah, Mark, if you could go back to 1999 and watch that in the theater, oh my God!
I wish I could. I wish I
could have just been born earlier.
Single parents had to have me in '94.
Yep.
Yeah, Hard Copy Blue says them being more and more lost in the middle section adds a lot of anxiety.
Oh yeah,
that loss factor.
Here's the map.
They're gradually getting more stressed out.
Yeah, that map.
They keep getting more and more paranoid and stressed out, and they think they have control of the situation, and then they gradually come to accept that they do not. And it's just so good, man. Like The Rocks, I can't stop thinking about The Rocks. Like, there's something like, tell me if you wouldn't find that terrifying if you were like, you and your friend are out in the camping in the woods, and you wake up and there's like all these little dudes hanging from trees and piles of rocks. It's like, you can't tell me that wouldn't scare you. I just, you know, if you tell me it wouldn't, I would think you're lying. It's like, because it's like, who did that? Like, who did it? you know, who did it?
Pierre Hangout says, I'm late to the party. Anybody
Willow
bring up
Creek.
Bobcat Goldthwait's Willow Creek? No, I have not heard
Nope.
of that.
Nope.
Never heard of it.
That's like a Bigfoot movie.
Vanessa the Horror Cholo says, Yup, Gus, the ending was decent, but in reality, nothing happened.
Well, I would think those characters would disagree. You know, I think a lot happened to them. They didn't have a good time, so.
Hard Copy Blue says, nobody did Hangouts. I have that one, and I respect it for epically long single shot take. I didn't love it. Gus says, Cloverfield was good. I enjoyed the second one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cloverfield is fun for sure. But 3, not so much. Yeah, it doesn't seem like people were recommending 3, so I'm like, maybe I can skip that one.
Yeah, Paradox is terrible. Really, it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It has a good cast. That's it. That's literally it.
Our Copy Blue says, love a long take. My fave long take is Prob in Ghost Story with the chick eating that pie. There's a great long take in the original Funny Games, too. In Ghost Story. I don't think I've seen Ghost Story.
Oh my god, the A24 movie with Casey Affleck.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that one. I heard it was pretty good, though.
Rooney Mara eats a whole pie for like 5 minutes.
Sounds terrifying.
Like, I fast forwarded it.
I love a good long take. Like the movie Touch of Evil opens with like a 10-minute take, and it's
I
so
love a
deep.
long take too. I mean, that's why Rope is like one of my favorite Hitchcock movies. But like, just someone eating a pie is
It's a fast forward.
not it for me.
And respect for that Rope take. That actually is my favorite Hitchcock. Rope is so good.
Oh, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Pierre Hangout says John Goodman should have been nominated for 10 Cloverfield Lane. I mean, he is that movie right
He's
now.
very good in that movie. Yeah,
So good.
probably one of his best performances. I would say.
Alex says, did anyone mention the movie Quarantine? I really like that movie. Yep. Yo, I keep Project X in a locked safe, never letting my kids see that movie. There's a lot of stuff in there, especially the unrated like extended cut. There's like, ooh, okay.
Yeah. Well, then they might try to emulate it and have a party themselves, which would not be cool.
That was an awesome party.
It was. That was the biggest takeaway. Like that movie came out at the perfect time for me. Like I said, I was in high school. It was like, man, like if only I could be at that party. Like that.
I know. So
that looks like so much fun.
I wonder, was I a loser in high school? I literally went to no parties. I did none of that.
I didn't really either.
That wasn't me either, Tim. I wasn't going to the parties.
Tim, I played football
Unless
in
it
high
was
school.
like a board game
and
party.
I never went to any.
Amazing as says, I love Project X. I told Mega Mike that I went to a party like that. He gave me the biggest look. I don't believe it. I still don't believe it.
What was that look, Mike? What was that look? Show us that look.
My God. I don't even. It was
You
like
didn't believe her?
I can't do it again. It was just like natural.
Okay.
What's going on? Are you serious? Gus says, I'm sure Lionsgate will release Blair Witch in 4K Steelbook. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was just saying that these don't need 4Ks, but I'll buy it just for some new packaging because, I mean, it just deserves it.
Even above that, there's not a whole lot special feature-wise. Like this, they could really go.
Yeah, I feel like this is rife for, like, you could get some new interviews. I'm sure those guys aren't doing much right now. I don't know what they went on to do, but I feel like you could get them back. And maybe, I don't know if you could even get the actors, but if you could, that would be sweet. Yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of untapped potential with that.
Well, heck, this Blu-ray is probably like 15 years old. You could even talk about the effect on just the whole genre itself.
Yeah.
Like one of those mini documentaries. Mm-hmm. There's got to be, you could do more though than this release.
Absolutely, yeah. And it would be a day one purchase for me.
Huck says, is it just me or do all the Ernest movies feel like found footage movies?
Ernest Scared Stupid is my favorite Ernest movie.
Hard Copy Blue says she aggressively ate the pie. Aggressively. All the while the ghost watched a lot. Oh my goodness. What kind of movie is this?
I need to watch
it.
It's Casey Affleck in a sheet, in a bed sheet.
824.
He just stands there and watches her eat the pie for like 5 minutes.
It's not a slice, it's like a whole pie.
It's a whole
pie.
Jesus,
yeah.
Oh my
She's
goodness.
sad.
That's scary.
All right. Definitely on the watch list now. All right.
That's what did it for you? Not Casey Affleck in a sheet.
Aggressively eating the pie. Very
You see Casey Affleck just stand staring out the window with a sheet on. That's it. But it's him under there, but you don't see him.
You
All
gotta
right.
fast forward it.
All right, so we'll talk any honorable mentions.
Yeah, I got some
found,
mentions.
some found mentions here.
Yeah, I got some mentions.
Tim, we got some found mentions.
I only have one. One Cut of the Dead was a really pleasant surprise. I guess it's not found footage in the way you think, but it's a whole. Who's seen this?
I've heard about that, and
I've heard of it. Yeah.
It's wild. It's a film crew filming a zombie movie that then there's real zombies that come, but then the movie takes yet another turn about halfway through. It's really good. Like I highly recommend this one.
Yeah, I heard it was good. I have to see that.
Yeah, Mika, definitely check this out. I really think you would dig this. But One Cut of the Dead is well worth it. And this steelbook is so nice. I got it in the protector, so it doesn't show as well, but it's like red metallic for the blood. Yeah, really good one though.
Ben Buster, did you have any?
I had VHS was one of mine, and I'm like, you know what? I know that one's gonna be chosen. Haunted House. I couldn't find my copy of it, but that's hilarious.
Nobody picked any VHS movies.
I think they're fine.
I think that's it. They're just not as great as some of these other ones.
Yeah.
But
and
Mark,
that's about it.
Did you have any, Mark?
Hell House LLC is a really good one that I watched on Shudder. I don't have a copy of it, but I really like that one. And The House is October Built. They're both kind of similar in that they deal with they deal with like haunted attractions that pop up around October. So they're both kind of they both play in that same space, and then you kind of get into like real stuff happening in the haunted attraction, and there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of room for like fun stuff in that setting, those are fun movies. I would watch both of them.
All right, and Mika.
Yep. So one of mine, I don't have a copy. Mark had mentioned it. It was Creep. I like Creep. The first one and the second one. The first one I love the most, but the second one is good as well. So Creep, and then for the VHS, I like 2. 2 is my favorite out of them. So 2 for the VHS.
Is that the one? Which one had the alien abduction segment? Because that was actually really well done, whichever one that one was.
Was that the first? Wasn't the first one with aliens?
I think the first one, because this one, no, I don't think
that one has the second one has that one that's by Gareth Edwards. He directed that segment where they're at that compound and it gets
with that went crazy.
Oh my god,
that is like the craziest shit ever.
It's worth it just for that segment.
It felt like you were in a video game with that segment.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah,
he directed the Raid. Yeah. Gareth Evans, I think his name. I don't have any honorable mentions because I only have 5. But I will say digitally, I'm glad Tim picked Searching. I love Searching. I thought it was great. Hell House LLC, one that caught me like totally out of nowhere because I was like, it's been out for a while, and then I watched it last year. I thought it was great. VHS 2 probably also my favorite of the VHS movies. Other than that, I think everyone else picked pretty much. I mean. Again, physically, I only have these 5, but I do enjoy pretty much every movie that everyone else picked. So they're all my honorable mentions. Yeah. There you go.
I got to see that Missing because you guys said that was
good.
Yes,
that would have been my found mention. Missing is so good. Like if you're gonna see a movie in January, out of all the movies I've seen so far, I think Missing is probably my favorite out of them.
I want to see more of that like whole subgenre of it. Like I really enjoy that stuff.
I had a decently packed theater for it, and it was really fun with the crowd because there's moments of comedy. There's, it has a lot. It has everything really. It was fun to watch with the crowd.
Yeah, and it like gets better and better as it goes too. Like you will not see what's gonna happen. So it's so good. It's like it keeps turning on its side. It's great.
But thinking about this, so Unfriended was mentioned earlier, which I don't mind Unfriended, but what's the one that's really bad that also is social media based?
The dark web, Unfriended, the dark web.
Friend request.
Oh my
god, so bad.
That's the first movie I ever saw with my movie pass. Was Friend Request.
It was
horrible.
So bad.
Horrible. I almost traded in my. I said, I don't need this thing. If this is what I'm going to be watching, I don't even want this card.
Oh, great.
Mike, you be good. You be going to the movies like every time I see your page, you're at the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go tonight too, but maybe not. I'm going tomorrow for sure to see Infinity Pool. But I try to see all the
I
new
wanna see that
movies.
too.
Yeah.
I just saw that last night, Mike.
Is it pretty decent?
Yeah.
It's friggin' weird as hell.
That's
so
what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
get ready for that.
I
Everybody
saw
should
your
have
review. I
what
think
they
you
want.
liked it better than I did. I was not a fan of it, but I thought Possessor was cool.
I like
But if you like
Possessor more.
Cronenberg, I think you could dig it. There's stuff that you would like.
Yeah.
Yeah, because last night I saw Fear, so that was kind of an interesting one. It was actually better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like garbage, but it was actually decent, so I'll take it. Yeah, I don't have any honorable mentions besides, we already said Missing, and then I would have just pulled more like paranormal movies. So yeah, there we go. But yep, that's all mine. All mine were definitely chosen. All right, so let's go into let's see, if there's any last minute comments, and then I'll give everybody a chance to close out here. Let's see. Gus says, is it Ratman in VHS? Is that where Ratman makes the appearance?
Yeah, Ken's favorite movie.
Yes, Hail Ratman. Oh, and then Amazing Anna is saying Spree. I thought Spree was all right. I didn't think it was great. Didn't think it was terrible, but that's okay. All right, so let's give everybody a chance to kind of say whatever they want to the audience, promote themselves a little bit, let us know what they have upcoming on their channel. Tim, what do we got going on?
I don't really have too much to promote for my channel because I don't know. I just release videos when I have videos. I don't really know, but I'm going to just plug. I saw a movie tonight. For anyone watching, the movie Living. It's nominated for 2 Oscars. It's an English remake of Ikiru. Has nothing to do with this stream at all. But I'm plugging it because I freaking loved the movie. It was wonderful. So check out Living. I can't recommend it enough. It's honestly one of my favorite 2022 movies now. It is so good. So that's all I got.
Yeah, was that like a special showing? Because I didn't see that at like any theater nearby me or.
It's only in 49 theaters right now. It's
Okay.
a pretty small release. I don't know how big it'll release to, but the Best Picture nomination is totally justified. He is fantastic, and it's nominated for Adapted Screenplay. That screenplay is fantastic. Like it was such a wonderful movie. Oh my God, I was so ecstatic leaving the theater.
All right, Bin Buster, what do we got going on?
Well, besides my usual Walmart Wednesday video, this rewind episode that I'm putting out this month is just kicking my butt, people. I know it's on YouTube's end. It's like I uploaded it and it's like blocked. Okay. So I go and edit that section and it's still the same section blocked. I'm talking during this section. How can it be blocked? It's like they don't want me on YouTube or something. So yeah. But beyond that, it's coming out eventually sometime this week. It'll be out before the end of the month. So stay tuned for that.
All right, Mark.
I feel like
an awesome shirt, by the way. I noticed it.
Thanks. Outofprint.com is where I have like 6 of these, and they all have like the original, I guess, art for Stephen King. Shameless plug. Out of Print sponsor me. I'm working on I have a video essay for the movie People Under the Stairs coming out very soon.
Ooh, Mark.
That movie's wild.
Yes, Mark.
It's been in sort of this post-production. The guy I have who mixes my audio, he's my good friend. He's like moved to California, so he's hasn't had time to work on it for me. But once that's done, that'll be up soon. And then I'm also in the process of writing a script for a sort of Walking Dead retrospective. I recently finished the show finally after a long hiatus. So I'm going to try to just kind of go season by season and just sort of talk about where I think it starts to go wrong. So that should be fun. I have no idea when that's going to come out. I'm still writing the script. It might be a bigger video, obviously, because there's 11 seasons to talk about. So yeah, but that's what I got coming. So.
Ooh, awesome. I'm excited for that. People Under the Stairs. That's one of my favorites.
It should be out by the end of the month, hopefully. So I'll let you know when it comes out.
Oh, yes. Hi, everyone. Okay, so just to let you guys know, me and the double, well, hopefully, February, we're going to tackle this YouTube. So at Double Feet
Yeah.
Podcast, yes, we're gonna get on YouTube, and me and the twin, we're gonna do some live streams. So we're looking forward to that. So we're gonna do a combination of things with Black History Month, also Valentine's Day, and some other little cool things we think will be fun. So keep an eye open for that.
Awesome.
Nice.
Definitely excited
Nice.
for that.
Nate.
Oh, well, first of all, it was great to be here again. Thank you, Mike, for inviting me. My first time talking with all of you guys. Loved it. You're all great. Appreciated all your takes. I just love when people know stuff. It's great. Yeah, we will be back Monday, Geeks and Flicks on YouTube off. So we'll be back this Monday. We're starting our Ultimate Action Hero Tournament. This thing is going to be massive. It's going to take a lot of weeks, but we're starting off for the first matchup is John Wick versus Neo. So a Keanu Reeves versus Keanu Reeves little battle. We got videos. We got a bunch of stuff. We're going to be talking. We're going to have the chat vote. We're going to have people on Instagram vote. It's going to be fun. So we're starting with that Monday. And then, of course, Action Movie Guys podcast, wherever you get your podcast. I think our last 2 episodes that just went up was Desperado and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. So if you want to take on those, yeah, you could catch us there, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that kind of crap.
Awesome.
All right. So first, thank you again, my panel members, for being here. It was great to see everybody's picks and recommendations. So now I got a lot more movies to watch. So that's always the funnest part. Thank you, audience members, for leaving comments and interacting with us tonight. Definitely appreciated. Now, coming up on my channel, I have a bunch of live streams planned that I'm getting together. There's going to be another not physical media award show, a different kind of award show for popular genre movies out there, which Tim is going to be a part of as well. So we're going to do a nomination announcement video first. And then after that, we will, basically I'll put up the polls to vote in it. So make sure you go out and to my channel and vote on the community polls once those get announced. And then we're going to do the award ceremony where we give out all the trophies and celebrate and have a good time with that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I have a Shyamalan stream coming up, of course, for the Knock of the Cabin release. And then also I'm going to be doing a sports movies ranking. So that stream's going to come up as well. So those are in the stream pipeline right now. For videos, I just dropped a video today talking about how Best Buy is scamming everybody on these outrageous 4K prices. So make sure you check that video out if you haven't. A lot of people are watching it, so it's getting that great momentum. So if we can keep that momentum going, very much appreciated on that one. And then if you want to hear about some actually good deals of movies you should buy from Amazon, some Amazon deals, that video is going to be dropping tomorrow. So you definitely want to check out those. And then a couple little shameless plugs as well. I'm getting my memberships set up over to YouTube. I had it on Patreon, but it should get to YouTube soon once YouTube approves it, so you can join right there. And then also I do have my merch. My merch store is up. You just want to go to the About tab on my YouTube channel, scroll down, find the store link, click it. That'll take you right to the page to buy, hats, hoodies, shirts, even a bear. If you want a stuffed bear with a Mega Mike shirt, that is on there as well. So definitely get your accessorizing on with all those.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, I might as well at this point.
So many channels have their stuff together when it comes to merch and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't have an intro. I don't do merch. I am so behind on everything.
Tim's shirt will be his logo. It goes, "Yay movies."
See, there you go. All right, but once again, thank you, audience, for joining us tonight. Have a great time and go watch some found footage movies now. Have a good
Skin him a rink. Skin him a rink.
Don't do it. Don't do it.